Alright, time to reroll everything.
And welcome everyone to session 1! Sorry, I had to get it out of my system.
Her voice has been slowly going up octaves the closer it's gotten to the start of the session.
It's been higher than yesterday. That's true.
Yeah, it's been higher than like a few minutes ago.
That wasn't even anywhere close to what it was about 25 minutes ago.
Hi everyone. You're back on the couch, except for Chris who's sitting on the armrest as usual.
Relegated to the arm.
I'm sorry, I will get a bigger couch. You know, when I can afford it.
You can put me on the arm. I love sitting on the arm of a couch.
Sacrilege.
So Chris actually wants to sit on the arm, so he can make the angry face.
I mean, I don't want to take that joy away from him.
So how is everybody? How are you doing?
Doing good. I'm getting my nerves out at the moment.
It's fine. Don't worry about it, right? It's all good. Spider caves, you know, all of the bad stuff that's like way above your level. You're totally gonna die. All good, you know. Now you can relax. Now that you know.
Yeah, we're just... yeah, the tavern is actually in secret a torture dungeon. Yeah.
As long as I'm petrified by and made beautiful by the beholder's eye ray.
Well, I mean, you have to strike a pose when he hits you, right?
That's right. And let's just hope it's not a disintegration ray. It's a gamble.
It's a gamble. Yeah. But when he shoots you, you don't dodge. You just go, strike a pose.
Pray you make that dexterity saving throw. Or constitution. If it's constitution, then you strike a pose.
Anyway, Abel's gone again. Well, this is why we have this like little chat at the beginning. I will take the opportunity to catch you guys up on Arrow's rework.
Because his character died in session 0, is that what you're telling me?
Yes, he actually
spontaneous combustion.
The original character, who was a pugilist, actually starved on the way to a Shabaford. To be fair, she probably never made it out of the city.
There was a lot going on.
Let's not kid ourselves. She probably never made it out of that arena.
Yeah, her soul was ripped from her body. All that good stuff.
No, like she made it out of the arena. That like she made it out of the city, and then basically was eaten by wolves. There we go. The end. The new character, incidentally, also named Stheno. It's a common name. Don't worry.
What a coincidence.
What a coinkydink. Yeah. Is a monk. So I'm not gonna say anything more because you gotta figure it out in the session. Oh.
Does this mean
I saw him lighting up for a second.
Irony, the most charismatic character in the group?
Yes.
Yes.
Am I back?
Yes.
Hey! Congratulations!
The second I point out that the charismatic character can't talk, suddenly he can talk again.
Just testing your guys' nerves. It was all a ruse.
I was already starting to sweat, right? It's like, okay, maybe he can call from the phone. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Order him a new microphone on Amazon that delivers within 4 minutes.
4 minutes.
No, but my
Quick,
microphone is really good. Just the connection was fucking up for some reason. I don't know.
So before we start, because I messed with the freaking overlay about like every single night since the last nudging it 1 millimeter to the left, 1 millimeter to the right, 1 millimeter to I have issues. What I can tell you, I'm gonna switch you over, not that you know, from the couch so I can set this up quickly, and then we're gonna kick it off. Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, also, Arabel can tell us how his week has been.
It was good. It was actually I started listening to the audiobooks of the Drist series. What a Gary Stew.
Oh no!
He does everything right. It's so annoying.
Yeah, he's also
look at my waving my scimitars around. I'm so amazing.
Yeah. And one is like fire. Yeah, one is fire, and the other is ice, and like.
I'm not even there yet. I'm in like
Don't
book
you
3.
diss my cousin.
He's a drow.
Yeah, your hated cousin.
Yes. He's still
It's
technically
always
an
the black
elven
sheep of
cousin.
the family.
Yeah.
Okay, that's... And now I gotta get Samira in there.
I've just realized the only similarities are I am wielding 2 short swords. And will also be playing an elven ranger.
Hey, Lena,
As
say
long as
something.
you don't name one of them Sparkle.
Awesome.
Oh, I don't know.
You are aligned. There we go.
I think, aren't his scimitars named like Twinkle and something else? Frost.
Yeah, one is a really cool name, and then one is really like cartoonish name.
Lena, do me a favor.
Yeah.
Click on a random item from your inventory.
Let me just...
Just to send it into
Icing
chat.
Death.
Yep. Give me a sec. Boop.
Thank you. Awesome. Fishing
You're welcome.
tackle. Nice. Okay,
Now
we're functional.
Twinkle was the name of his other scimitar.
wow.
I mean,
Why?
I'm thinking of Moana now.
Why? That is a good question.
I
Why?
mean, his weapon is basically a giant fish hook, right?
True.
What's wrong with that?
Nothing's wrong
Have you
with
seen
that.
how much damage a fish hook can do?
Yeah, I know.
Yikes. Yes. I've had one through my thumb, so yes.
Oh my god.
story.
Oh.
The first time and the last time I tried fishing.
Yeah.
At least you still have your finger, so that's good.
Yeah, it's still attached.
So, last time we left off was not really last time because it was session 0, right? But since we're gonna start here, you were about to walk into a tavern, right? We had this whole journey of basically you traveling from all the parts of the world, some of you are local, to Cormyr, and arriving from different directions and converging basically in Arabel, where 2 of you started bumping into each other, then a 3rd one joined, and you were literally in the process of starting the conversation when Cassius suggested that you should go to a tavern. And this is where we're gonna start. Let me take you to the scenery of the tavern. Cause I have it prepared.
Nah.
Of course you
Of course
do.
you do.
Oh, you do
We
not
don't
own
own
any
any
tokens
token
of position on the scene.
No, it's black.
Oh wait.
It's black.
We don't have any
Fail.
tokens that allow us to see.
Fail.
I cast
fail.
magic missile into the
Save.
darkness.
There you go.
Oh,
There we go.
you see that guy in the
Damn.
back? That's the guy you just hit with magic missile.
Oh yes.
And since we're inside now, let me switch you over to the tavern music. So, you walk in. This tavern, Cassius, you've seen kind of like walking past, because it's like one of the taverns in the city center, but like then again, there's a lot of taverns and inns, so you didn't really manage to get to every single one of them in the last, 8 days. It is called the Dancing Dragon, and you were guiding the 2 of them towards it because I figured it's something that would have caught Cassius' eye in the naming convention there. Also, the few people who were entering the Dancing Dragon before you kind of look like the adventuring sort, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
So it stands to reason that there might also be some interesting information to gain next to the conversation you're having. So you enter in here, and the Dancing Dragon is a bit of like wild place. It's very crowded usually. There's like people over. It looks rustic, On closer inspection, you will also notice, especially you, Viera, because like you have higher perception, is that a lot of the furniture has been mended multiple times and fixed and repaired. A lot of the place shows like wear and tear. Oddly enough, like along the pillars, there's like a whole bunch of like carvings and chalk writings, like very like closely together, so it like makes it kind of, you have to like really walk up to a pillar to read it. Even at this day, time of day, and by the way, it is around noon right now, a bit past noon, so it's like lunchtime. There's people eating a tiny bit, but mostly like they're drinking even at this time. Even at this time, you already have like people who have been apparently drunk enough to fall off their chairs or have been jumped off and somebody took their place, right? So yeah, it's very clouded, but if you look up, there's a gallery that's kind of like a bit hidden in the darkness. So you cannot really quite tell who the people are up there, but there's like a few people who are just like chilling up there and drinking and looking at the people down below. So yeah, if you like squeeze through the crowd, you can kind of like squeeze your way to a part where you can like sit down. It's not too full, but it's like filling up because lunchtime, as I said. So what you doing?
I think I'm gonna start making my way towards a seat that looks the most, I guess, remote. So that it's space around and not too many people.
That's difficult to achieve.
Yeah, I know.
Very
I'm trying
difficult
to find
to achieve.
The first available
best
table,
variant.
I think, is probably what you want to go for.
Yeah.
I am going to actively look around for individuals of interest that I would know about.
That you would know about. Define knowing about.
Well, I don't want to give it away, so I'm going to message it to you.
Okay, message it to me.
I'm gonna follow Samira using her bulk as a shield, and meanwhile I'm kind of trying to jump above the crowd and getting the attention already of like a server, and it's like jumping up and down, ooh, 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 and then just walking behind Samira to let her clear the way.
Yeah. I'm gonna try. Once I don't find a quieter spot, I just physically push myself to at least enough room of a spot so we don't have to share seats or something.
The two of you, because Samir and Cassius, you're like kind of like used to tavern and stuff. The servers, so they look like they never skip leg day. They're basically, I mean, there is a staircase going up to the gallery, right? But it looks like they're really like running up and down a lot. Right? Viera would notice eventually as well, because like they look like runners. Almost, right? Because you're kind of used to people who like run around the forest a lot, so you would notice it as well, compared to the other taverns and inns that you've seen on your journey.
Okay. Didn't realize people ran around the forest delivering ale.
Not ale, but they're running. Smarty pants.
Sure.
Yeah. And but you don't see the person of interest you're looking for, by the way. None of that. There's a couple of half-elves in one of the corners. Or, I mean, half-elves because the ears are visibly shorter, right?
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, nobody pays attention to them, or to you for that matter.
Mm-hmm.
Half the crowd seems a bit rougher, you know, mercenary type. But that's it. So you sit down,
Right.
and the server will come up and say, okay, what do you want? Quick!
I just 3 beers here, ales. Everyone good with that?
Wow, which kind? It's the turquoise square, it's the house malt, it's the fractured pigeon, it's the house stout. It's what you want? What you want?
The one just get us something.
Cheapest ales.
I'll just bring you some house out. Yes. Free?
Yes, please.
What about you?
Fine, yes.
Elven girl.
Already told you, the cheapest ale.
The cheapest ale.
Get on with it.
Fine. Pompous elves. And then, like, you know, he wanders off and comes back like a minute later, while he's also like handing out, you know, ale to others. By the way, the mugs are made of clay. Very cheap, like just basically sanitary enough. They all look oddly new, by the way. And it's 5 copper per pint.
I got this, so I'm gonna give him 15 copper then. This one rounds on me, eh?
Thank you, that's kind.
Very kind of you. So just from where we're sitting, generally the level of conversation, people in the tavern listening, all that kind of thing, how likely is anyone to overhear our conversation if we talk loud enough for us to hear, but not too loud?
There's way too many conversations going on at the moment. Way too many, right?
Okay, so is it the kind where people are slowly talking over each other and the volume is getting louder and louder as more people come in?
Yes. That's exactly what it sounds like. Typical.
In that case, Viera will wait for the server to disappear, as I assume they will.
Yeah. They picked up the money and then, you know, he's gone.
Before turning to the other two and just saying, so we're all here for the same reason.
Seems to be.
Cassius looks kind of disappointed at the mug and the ale. Really? The cheapest? Oh. Alright.
This probably isn't the right place to be trying fine wines.
Yes. Seems more of the rough and tumble. Have what you can.
Yeah,
But if you want,
if
you like, you can have my portion. I'm not that partial to ale. You paid for it after all.
It's not the amount, it's the quality, but never mind.
Well, I'm sure we can find something nicer elsewhere to be enjoyed somewhere quieter, if necessary. So, you're both talking a lot about a particular tower.
Yes. Well, I think he's been talking the most, but yeah, we've been talking about
Me?
tower.
No.
Yes.
So, you started to say you were seeking it for personal reasons?
Yes, I don't want to go too far into it. I doubt any of us want to share too much information, but
Well,
I'm looking for some answers. And that's
okay.
it.
And you think the answers can be found in the tower?
Oh, it's supposed to grant you your greatest wishes, so why not?
Yes. Okay.
It's worth a try, isn't it?
Exactly. So, sorry, did you say your name was Cassius?
Yeah, it was.
And you're seeking it just for...
Like I said, I maybe don't have such lofty goals or very personal reasons. Lived a humble life so far, and decided it might be worthy of a change.
Okay.
Well,
So you don't have any kind of personal wish that you're seeking it for, it's just to plunder it, to see what it's got?
I guess.
Well, money is often the answer for most everything, so
she gets it.
I have to deny that.
Well, given that you seem to like fine wines, I can see why you're looking for treasure. So obviously I've already said that I'm looking for it because I'm seeking someone who came seeking the tower. So
They vanished there.
that's right, they vanished. Which leads me to believe that either it's obviously in a very dangerous place and they died trying to reach it, or they succeeded and it does send you to a different world, as everybody seems to claim with the rumors.
So that's what I heard as well.
From the sides, you hear somebody starting to talk and leaning in towards you guys.
Sorry, who are you?
Hmm? Oh, I'm just someone who's interested in the topic at hand. Here,
But
I've
no,
got a couple
really,
seats.
who are you? We all know each other's names. What's your name?
Hmm? Oh, many apologies. People call me Stheno around here. And you are?
Viera.
Viera? Pleasant. And you? She just turns to one of you.
Well, don't call me Sarimira around here, but it is my name. Is Stheno your name,
what
or
should
is
I
it
call
a
you
name?
then? Stheno? That is my name. I gave you my name. Now what is your name? What would you like to be called?
Sam, maybe?
No, thank you. I think Samira will suffice.
So you don't want me to call you Samira, but you want me to call you Samira as well.
Well, introductions are fine. There's no need to use names.
Oh boy.
And Cassius will just stand up and in order to break anything up. Cassius, at your service, and do like a flourish.
Ah, well met. Pleasant to meet you as well. So I hear you specific, and she turns to Viera. I hear you were tailing someone to the tower. Might I inquire as to who that might be?
Why do you want to know?
See, I have an interest, a vetted interest, in making it to this tower myself, so I think my odds might be better with a few extra hands. That's all.
Perfect. That sounds splendid. Does any one of you maybe have an idea where it is? First of all.
No, that's what I've been listening for this whole time.
I know who I'm looking for.
I have some ideas, but could you repeat yourself, Stheno? What is your interest in the tower again?
My interest? Oh, well, there's someone I have to meet there.
Oh, meeting there.
Yeah.
So do you know the location then?
Sadly, the location was lost to me before I managed to acquire it. So I've been seeking out people who may know of where it lay. So far my efforts have yielded little. And she just sort of turns her attention kind of casually back to the rest, as if she's listening in, and her eyes are darting amongst the crowd.
Is anybody else paying any kind of attention to our conversation?
Not at the moment, no.
Okay. And no sign of those ales?
No, you got yours. The waiter came, delivered them a minute later, like I said earlier. Took the money and effed off. To be fair,
Right.
I also got interrupted in the meantime with the internet. So.
Yeah.
All right. So please join us, and I will Stheno a chair if there are no other chairs at the table already, that she can join.
Oh, Stheno just stands up and pushes some drunk off his chair and then sits down. It's alright, I've got it handled.
Nobody blinks an eye at that, by the way.
All right. Well then. Now that introductions are out of the way, so me and this one over here, and he looks at Samira, we've been wandering around the town already quite a bit. Haven't found anything really useful. Thought me want to try to get some information from this tavern, so maybe that should be a first course of action.
Yes, we haven't any information on the location of the tower, but I think you, Viera, you mentioned a person. We may be thinking of the same thing.
Possibly on our way to the tavern, you mentioned something about trailing someone around trails.
Yes, I've heard tale of. Well, could just be tall tales like we've heard about this myth. Someone might know the location.
Someone thinks they know the location.
Yes.
Whether
And they
it's true
seem
or
to be
not,
hiring
find
people
out.
to accompany them.
Well, I think the word hiring is being used a little creatively. I don't think they're paying anything. But I've heard that they have a map. And I've heard that it's a lizardman. Or lizard folk, I should say.
Well, that's rare.
And how long have you been tailing this person?
Wait, lizardman is saying. Wait. I heard something. Lizardman. Somebody like half drunk next to you basically perks up and.
You've seen a lizardman?
Oh yeah, little guy. I mean, for lizardman. I think.
Where was he?
Maybe two of them. I'm never quite sure. Maybe. No, I'm sure it's one. It's one. Been here like 2 days, 3 days. Way too often here. And he like look, drink some more ale. Yeah.
So he comes by daily.
No, like every 10 day, maybe.
Do you know where he's heading? There's an ale in it for you if you do.
I don't know. He was talking about the tower, stupid tower. Everybody talks about the tower. He was looking for people, as not offering enough money for anyone to pay attention to. But he's been here. You can ask the brothers, and he kind of points vaguely in the direction of one of the waiters.
All right. Certainly convenient.
I think convenience has been a theme as of late.
I mean,
don't you agree?
If it was convenient, I mean, I wouldn't mind an ale. Just saying, you know, from a friend to
I just
friend.
slide mine over to him.
Cheers! And he takes it and like, you know, and happily turns away again and just keeps drinking.
This is why we ordered the cheapest.
Oh, is it? And Cassius is just drinking his. And no, they were reserved for others, but fine, I guess. Well, it seems that one of us is out of a drink already, so let's get another, shall we?
No, I'm fine. And I just take out a flask out of my pouch and just start drinking out of it.
Ooh. Oh, but we do need a server, right?
That's true.
We do.
Stheno.
And Cassius will just again try to get the attention of a server.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
If needed, he will stand on the table.
It's not the same one. It's not the same one. There's like at this time, because like it's getting crowdier, right? More crowded, not crowdier. More crowded.
Crowdier.
There's like a good like 4 or 5 from what you can gather. So a different guy comes over. He's like, "What do you want?"
Is it one of the brothers or like one of the guys he was pointing at?
This one looks bulkier. It's not like a brother, right? They all have leg. They never skip leg day, but this guy looks big, right? Like big, like waiter, / potentially bouncer.
All right.
Broken nose, mended long time ago, maybe broken multiple times. That kind of like thuggish appearance.
I just wanted to order one of your finer ales, and I've heard that there was a certain lizard folk around this tavern some time ago. Do you know about him?
Maybe. Depends. And he kind of looks at you expectantly.
Oh well, now if we order your finest ale, would that cover the cost?
Nah, I don't get anything from you ordering ale. It goes to the owner.
All right. Well then, Cassius will kind of look at the rest of the group. How about...
Stheno, you by the way know that they take 1 gold to basically either give you information or deliver messages, or get jobs and that kind of stuff. That's like pretty common, like 1 gold minimum for them to do anything.
So she just, after watching this, she just kind of looks up at the guy and then just hold on a minute. And she shuffles over closer to Cassius and whispers to him, "The lovelies here, they take 1 gold minimum. You gotta bribe them. They're kind of shady folk."
Hey, all right. I know the sort.
They're not shady folk.
Some of them can be. Who knows?
And Cassius will produce a gold coin from his pouch and flip it over to the waiter.
As he's producing this gold coin from his pouch, I'm going to perceive my way into that pouch to see how many gold. Can I have an idea of how much money he's got left?
Can I do it quickly and obscurely?
I mean, roll me a perception.
And if you're damn business.
He has about like good 7 to 10. You can't tell exactly. There's other coins in there, right? But it looks heavier, right? Mm-hmm. And if you start paying attention, you will see now that the crowd is thicker. The waiters occasionally take a gold coin, and then they look up to the gallery, and then they make their way up. And then some of them are actually already like quite busy going up and down, like repeatedly, without even drink, just like going up and down. But anyway,
take some time.
He takes a gold coin, right?
Just make yourself comfortable.
He will bite it.
Well, I didn't know we'd have such a gracious spender among us, and I just raise my eyebrow at Cassius.
Makes the world go around.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, because you just gave him a coin, right? Because you asked him a question. He will bite it to check that it's real, right? Put it away while, Viera is sneaking a glance into the pouch. And he goes like, yeah, his name's Snaga. He's been here 2 days ago. looking for work. I mean, not for himself. He was looking for other people to work for him.
And you know if he's still in town or?
No, he's doing the rounds. He comes here by like every 6 days. He's like one of the rare lizard folk around these parts. He's harmless, not very solvent, if you know what I mean. But yeah, he's looking for hire. Why?
But he was here 6 days before that, so he's
No,
been
he
here
was
twice
2
now?
days. He was no. He was here like 4 times already over
Do
the
you know
last
where he
month.
might be staying?
Maybe.
Ah, come on, we're all friends here. And if we order another, no, for the establishment, can you just? I already gave you this gold coin, so can't you just give us the rest of the information?
I mean, roll me a persuasion.
There you go.
Fine. The finest on everyone. Yes, you're paying for that.
One finest for my friend here.
I mean, such a generous patron can certainly afford the finest for his friends.
Samaria chuckles under her breath.
All right, fine. You're fine. 3 finest, 4 finest, I guess.
He's over from
looking at the news.
Sunset Hills to the east. Farming community. You just follow the road and then you turn at the river. Just up. And then you find it.
Before or after the river?
Before the river.
And how long of a travel is it to?
I don't know. We're never there.
Yeah.
Like, I guess 1-2 days. Depends. If you have fast horse, you can make it in a day.
Ugh.
Anyway,
Alright.
I'll bring you the finest. And he like turns around and walks off and comes back a minute later with a thing that he describes as, what was it? Notes. The turquoise square. And it's a microbrewed radish malt. It has like a complex malt taste with a very subtle but like pleasant bitter finish. It's 8 copper
The
Per
drink
pint. Yeah.
that's placed in
Okay.
front of Stheno just remains untouched entirely.
And I give the man his 24 copper. And not a single copper more. Or he gave him a fucking tip.
Stheno, by the way, you do know about Sunset Hill, right? As the guy said, it's a farming community to the east, southeast. Basically, if you take the road to the east and then right before the bridge, take the pathway along the river, basically, to the south, you get to the Sunset Hills. Hill, actually, which is, you kind of call it a village, not
In
really,
midsummer.
because it's like a cluster of houses across and around the hill that's called the Sunset Hill. And they have like, they're like, that entire area is like farmers and sheep herders, right?
Okay. So, once the guy turns around and the drinks are settled, just right away, Stheno stands up. Right, well, we've got what we need. If you're interested in coming along, you can come with me. Otherwise, I'm heading out.
We're not gonna finish these drinks?
I don't care what you do with yours.
Ah, come on.
Here, we'll take
Let
a
her go.
sip.
We can catch her up, no problem.
Yeah. Samira takes a sip and just kind of scrunches her face at the taste and just pushes it towards Cassius. You can finish that.
I kind of look hopefully at Viera.
Have you got a wineskin?
Somewhere, probably.
What's it got in it?
Water. Not a barbarian.
Pour it on the floor. Put the alcohol in your wineskin. We're good to go.
None of you drinks? Like you guys don't drink at all? This is gonna be.
I'm not particular with bitter
Not
flavors,
beers
so.
and ales.
I don't drink this piss water.
The guy who's
It's the finest.
the guy who's like who had the free ale earlier, right? Lindsay's like,
Oh no, you already had enough. You already had enough, my friend. And I gather all the and I pour the water out of my water skin.
I've still got one trash ale. I'll put that in front of him. There you go, my friend.
Hey! And he like pats you on the back, so like rocking you basically forward, right?
And I will try to fit as much as I can in.
Right,
That's okay.
Yeah.
We won't be here when he hits the ground.
No.
So whatever I can't put in my water skin, I'm just gonna stake the cups with me, and just try to drink from them as we walk.
So we're leaving right now.
You will also notice. I mean, by the way, it's still like around noon, and the journey is 2 days. Just pointing that out, right?
Yeah.
So you will also notice that there's a bunch of like clay shards all around the floor in the entire place, right?
As in like mug.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Figured as much, yeah.
Watch your step here. A lot of people like using these things as shanks.
Oh, that's okay.
It gets
It's
pretty
midday.
bustling.
I don't think any dangerous things are going to happen on our way out.
Oh, you'd be surprised. Just be watching out. And you see, like, Stheno is actually, like, darting her eyes back and forth to, like, make sure that there's no fights breaking out in front of her or, like, about to.
Well, we're traveling right now?
You mean
not right now. Do you have a place to stay? No? Alright.
I mean, you've been staying in the city for 8 days, the two of you.
Oh, yes.
Viera has been around here for 18. I haven't specified where you're staying specifically because I said we're hand waving it, right? So wherever you're staying, you still have that room.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. You
but,
probably paid for like a 2 weeks or something room.
Yeah. A 10-day at least. You probably pay for a 10-day because then it's cheaper. So you all have rooms, right?
I think the question is, if we go out now, we're 2 days behind. Travel takes 2 more days, roughly. And question is, do we catch up, or are we just gonna end up here anyways? Again.
Yeah. I think it's, I don't know about you guys, but traipsing around in the wilderness, or we can just stay here and wait for the lizard folk to come back into town.
Exactly.
See the city.
The wilderness.
I'm with the elf.
Oy.
So you want to ride off in circles, just walk around? Hope we catch up?
Obviously not.
I can cover a lot more ground on my own.
I mean,
it's not like
I could head out and have a look for him, and if I find him first, then I will come back here and let you know. And if he comes back here in the meantime, send him out to Sunset Hills, I guess, or leave a message.
it seems awfully roundabout way.
Doesn't sound like he's going to be coming back here with any kind of regularity. Not something that we can guess at.
I mean, he's making rounds apparently, so he comes here
roughly every 6 days.
Yeah.
And it's...
And if he left 2 days ago,
left.
then we... Exactly. We just have 4 days to chill out.
So we'd catch him as he was leaving, and we'd be potentially closer to the forest.
Which forest?
Assuming he comes back this way.
Oh, oops. Again, my bad.
Well, he's looking to hire people to accompany him, and we've heard that he doesn't really offer much. So I doubt he has anyone who takes him up on the offer.
How do your human cities work? Can someone rent a horse rather than buy one?
If you have the money, you can basically rent anything.
Huh, yes.
Wouldn't the smarter thing to do be to rent a horse then, to get there quicker?
I mean, I would,
Problem
but...
is, I'm not that good with horses.
You don't need to be good with a horse. Purple dragons train their horses, their ponies. You can find some here. There's a lot of merchants.
There's no horse rental, by the way.
But you got the
FYI, don't listen to Cassius.
Stheno will point out, because Stheno knows that to the north there's like very dangerous mountains, and actually on the road to the north and around the city, the purple dragons actually escort caravans, because there's like orc, hobgoblin, goblin incursions all the time. This is why the city is built like a fort. There's a reason. I mean, it's become safer in recent years. This is why you have people settling around the city now more and more and more. But it's not exactly so safe that people will like trust that you will actually ever bring that horse back if you rent it.
Yeah.
Well, why don't we take the time to get all of the supplies that we need over the next couple of days and then see if he shows up?
No, that's a better idea.
It's been 2. He should be here within 4.
Mm-hmm.
If he's not here on the 5th day, we go looking.
Yeah,
I like that idea.
Because I'm guessing you're prepared, and she points to Samira, and she points to Cassius and says, I'm guessing you're not.
I'm as prepared as you can be. I have my beers after all.
So you've got cold weather gear.
Is it cold where we're going?
You were about to get teleported into a different world. It could be ice fields from...
Oh boy. So at least there's something left on my checklist then.
Okay, so we're going to spend 4 days gathering supplies, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
I guess.
And getting to know each other, I guess.
Lovely.
How fun.
Oh, don't make such a sour face.
About the time somebody tips the
boy.
table and they start punching each other and a brawl is, bursting out, cups are flying.
As quickly as possible.
By the way, most of the patrons are just like shifting away from it and just like get comfortable, and like, you see bets, like this looks completely normal apparently. Nobody's really bothered, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is the fight on our way to the door? Is it behind us?
It's kinda you
All the
have
way?
to shimmy around it, so you have to be careful not to get in the way, right? But you can make your way like around some of the tables and avoid getting punched in the face if you want.
Yeah. I'll just stretch and just say to the others, I think it's about time to leave now. We can talk outside where it's actually quieter. And I just start marching over there. Not really shimming so much.
Already empty.
Just forcing her way.
Yeah, like Stheno's gone too. Like the moment that happened.
Alright. I'll just use Ssmooth again as a human shield. I kind of just follow in the wake of the storm.
Yeah, just imagine
smiling to people.
Yeah, sorry, excuse me, and Ssmooth just out of the way.
Yeah, exactly. I'm apologizing to the people that you bash out of the way. Hey, it's all good fun. Come on.
So yeah, you're out on the streets again.
Lovely
So,
tavern.
did you have any places in mind?
Well, I guess the question is, Viera, you seem to know a lot about what we should need. Have any tips on what we should pack?
2 words only. Be prepared.
Well, aren't you a helpful dear?
Well, I don't know any more than any of you. But it seems to me that the wise thing is to be prepared for deserts. Or glaciers. Or anything in between. It could be lush forests for all we know. It might be the middle of an ocean.
So we should also bring a boat then.
Well, if you've got one.
I look at Ssmooth.
Sadly not in my pocket, dear.
Yeah.
That's a shame. But I would certainly recommend a tent, tarpaulin, cold weather gear, bare minimum. The worst that happens is you don't need the cold weather gear and you can use it as a blanket at night.
You're just gonna stand there?
I might just have to...
Arrow, you're by the way super quiet.
Oh, okay. My bad. Are you just gonna stand there outside the tavern?
Well, what else do you want to do?
Go somewhere where it's nicer. Where we can sit down.
We're sitting down.
Yes.
If all that place nice, then you're welcome to it.
Well, if you know somewhere better, don't be coy about it. Lead on.
She just nods and starts heading towards a nicer locale. Obviously, everywhere is going to be busy, but somewhere where there's not so much brawling and beating each other up, where we can have some privacy. There's a couple places I know of, but
yes.
I'll leave.
I mean, where are you going? You're the local.
Yeah. So, okay, yeah. So I will take just 1 second as I start walking, winding my way through the streets and occasionally looking back to see if they're following. And there is it's not an inn per se. It's a what is it? The name. I'm scrolling. 1 second, almost got it. It's here we go. Dual beers. So standing, or wait a second. Yeah. Not dual beers. Yeah, I lead the party to the Lavender Lion. And
give me a second.
Sounds fancy.
It is pretty fancy. Like it's a upscale place.
Okay.
So like leading them away from the kind of rougher parts of town and into like a fancier area where there's a lot less foot travel by peasantry or people who are rougher looking farmers, and there seems to be a few more nobles walking around in this area, making progress or being carried by carts. And the sign outside says the Lavender Lion. And
it's a fest hall, by the way.
Yeah, a fest hall.
A dancing place, right?
And so Stheno turns around and looks at everybody. This place is nice for a few rounds if you're willing to get some exercise in, but they do have a few rooms that you can have in private. Usually they're used for escorts and the like, but you can rent them out for whatever purpose you
You would
wish.
also know that there's 6 gold, by the way, per hour.
Yeah.
6 gold per hour,
Yeah.
per person.
Per hour, yeah.
Seems nice, but after those rounds, I think this is a little bit out of my league.
When you said you were going to take us somewhere nice, I thought you meant like a park or something.
Or a nice temple, you know?
There's very few trees here, even. Very little grass. The most you can find here is around, out of character, I think it was Tymora's temple? It was a temple of some sort.
Yep, Tymora. Temple of Tymora.
Yeah.
It's the only real temple. You do have shrines to other deities as well.
Yeah. So, if you'd rather, you can head there. A little bit of nature for you.
Well, I think any place that's quiet and you don't have to pay for particularly, I'm good with.
Right then, let's go. And once again, leading away from this area to a more open end of town where things are
If we are passing a blacksmith's or a weaponsmith's of any kind,
Yes.
let me know.
Yeah.
I mean, depends on which way he's taking you.
Yeah. So, with if I recall, the palace or the temple is kind of just past central and near the palace, so it's going to be kind of the
fort. There's
more
no palace.
ostentatious area.
Yeah, the citadel.
Or the fort. Yeah. So it's going to be a little bit more ostentatious, but there's a lot of places on the way there.
There's a park in and around that area, by the way, with benches and stuff.
Oh, there actually.
Yeah.
Okay. So, head there. Right. Here we are.
This is a little bit better, a little bit quieter, a little bit more private too.
Very well.
So if the 4 of us are going to be traveling and seeking out a potentially very dangerous tower, what sort of skill sets do you all have?
Well, speaking forthright, I'm not as used to the area, so I think that's something I need a little boost by all of you, so helpful traveling in a group. But I'm good in a fight, and well, like I said, it's not my terrain, but if we end up somewhere on the coast or things like that, I'm gonna be, Jack in the corner.
You're good with ships, then I take it.
Mm-hmm. Spend some time on quite a few.
Useful, good to know. What about you, Stheno?
I'd like to say that I'm well read.
Yes. And?
And? Oh, I'm expecting a show.
Well, you're a bookworm?
Very much so.
I didn't mean to offend or anything of the sort. I was just looking for practical skills that we could use during the travels.
Practical
and I don't.
skills.
Yes. I mean, reading books and bookworm and yes, that could help.
Well, have you read any books about the tower?
Exactly.
there's places here that are privy to travelers from other places. A lot of books I read don't have information on those sorts of tales. Mostly, you have to watch, observe, make your own conclusions for such things. If you're talking magic, I know a few things.
Now that's interesting.
Indeed.
Alright. Cassius.
Hey.
I know you
Steve.
bit more, but go ahead.
Well, he's good for the gold coins and the swaggering tongue, clearly.
That's for sure.
I had the gold coins pretty low, but I think I make up for it with my charming smile. Right? Flashes
You're an
a
handsome
grin.
lad.
And obviously I bring a bow. And I'm pretty good at tracking and moving through the wilderness, so the nature is my home.
I knew it when I saw the ears. You were good with trees.
Good with animals too.
Sorry, saw the ears and good with trees. Is that what you sort of think of the elven kind here?
No.
That's all they are, good with trees?
Oh, are you presuming I meant insult?
No, I'm just a bit baffled.
None of the sort.
How you could presume of something of a person simply because of their ears.
It's all
a bit
the
funny.
locals.
Just,
You know,
huh.
they come from the place. So obviously they've got to be good with it, or else they wouldn't make way.
Well, that's
All
true.
good. Do you come from the forest, Viera?
I do, but none of the forests near here.
I mean, that's
Seems
gonna
a
be
fair
help
conclusion
anyways.
then.
So
Gives
how
a
far
bit-
have you all travelled? I'm guessing, Stheno, you know the city well, you're from here?
I am local, and I know a fair bit about Cormyr in general, but I haven't actually traveled much myself. I like
Well, if you're
practical
well
experience.
read, as you said, it's gonna be helpful during the travels, I think.
Do you know anything about Sunset Hill?
Sure. It's near here, and obviously the nearer it is to the place, the more I know. Out of character, I actually know zero about Sunset Hill.
I will take over here and roll my history check.
Okay. Oh, my mouse, of course, stops working. Here we go. Character sheet. And history. Normal.
Good.
Nice.
Sunset Hill is named for the gold tinge at sunset, when it holds the light of the sinking sun long after the lower land around it. It's a high grassy hill east of Bospir, which is another farming community between Arabel and Sunset Hill. It would have been a natural spot for a fortress, but it holds only sheep now. Although a long time ago it used to hold gibbets. And it is no surprise, therefore, that Sunset Hill is haunted, or people at least believe it is. They say there are ghostly apparitions of floating upright, dangle-handed human corpses that appear on its summit on some nights. And local farmers' lore insists that any sheep on the hill at such times are transformed into the leathery winged monsters known as dark horrors. And the dark horrors fly off to attack lone folk and livestock all over the countryside, and they change back into the bewildered sheep selves in the morning, if they survive that long. And you, Stheno, also know that dark horrors are also called darken beast, or death horror, or dark horror. It is an artificial magical beast created by evil spellcasters, like the Red Wizards of Fae, that Cormyr really fucking hates. Water is plentiful.
And fuck those Fae wizards.
Yeah. Water is plentiful around the base of the hill. No less than 3 ponds are scattered all around. It's fed by springs welling up from the heart of the hill, and many cottages cluster around the ponds. So while Sunset Hill is like only vaguely called a village because it's basically a far-flung hamlet without any proper center or governor, it has about 900 to 1,000 folk. Anywhere like from the river up to, around and on the hill, basically. That's what Stheno tells you.
It's a lovely place.
Yeah, sounds great.
Sounds better than this place. What about you, Samira?
A lot of tall tales.
You're from the sea, I presume.
Well, I am from around the southern part of the Sea of Stars, yes. In Termish, yeah. I've spent most of my life in the capital.
Sorry, where is that from here? Is that north, east, south, west?
No, it's further southeast.
Okay.
Yes.
Opposite direction I came from.
Oh. Where did you come from then?
From the high forest. It's very far to the north and west from here. So.
Yeah, you've had long travel.
Yes, I have.
Hmm. Well, so where did you hear the tales of the tower then? So far away.
Oh, no tales.
Just a friend?
Somebody I knew went missing.
Hmm.
And the last we knew about it, they were seeking the tower.
Hmm. Interesting.
So, that's the only lead I have. Hence why I'm seeking out the tower.
Got that.
Your friend knew all about the tower from all the way northwest?
No, they were in Cormyr at the time. They sent a message and just let us know that they'd heard some tales about a mysterious tower that granted you your deepest desires. And after that, there were no more messages.
Awful big coincidence. When did you get this message?
Oh, I didn't get the message. My mother did. More than 30 years ago.
Oof.
That is certainly ominous. Either tells of success or of...
The tower comes and goes, so... As far as I know, the tower hasn't... Well, the rumours of the tower certainly haven't been circulating for the last 30 years.
Yeah, Stheno, you know that it's a local legend that has been around for at least 100, 200 years, right?
Right. So why now?
Because the rumours of the tower have appeared again. So I think the
let's
first
hope we
place
find
I
it then.
heard them was Highhorn on my way here.
Very well. So, of preparations, unless you, and she nods to Cassius, wish to tell of where you're from.
I've lived in quite a few places, but I'm from roughly the same area as Samira, a little bit more south to the southeast. Chantea. But like I said, I've lived in many different places before. Last I was in, what's this place? Tzir. Ah, yeah. A nice city. But that's why I heard the thing about the tower and thought, well, might as well see the area, see what's up.
You're awfully laissez-faire about all this.
Awfully what, sorry?
Laissez-faire. You're flighty.
Flighty?
Yes.
What makes you say I'm flighty about it?
Just how you speak. It's not very direct.
And meanwhile, Samira's laughing under her breath. Did you say
Right.
Kazir?
Yeah.
It's
What
him,
about it?
forehand.
Sorry.
You sure you're not just dodging my steps or something like that? I came from that direction as well.
It seems the way. That's. So, and I turn to Stheno and
That's
Viera.
funny.
So we've been actually traveling for in the same caravan from Suzil, and I just can't seem to get rid of her. I just see her everywhere.
I was under the impression you two knew each other.
No, we didn't. This is... sorry, I'm not used to coincidences like that. That's funny. I like it. Certainly tells a tale.
So you don't know each other only recently?
No.
Not
We
only
just keep
from
bumping into each other.
Yeah, we talked a little bit on the caravan, but before that we didn't know each other.
It's almost like fate.
That's what I said. Or luck. And I point towards the Temple of Tymora if it's inside.
Or Stheno, as you would know, if they're all looking for the tower, it would be mathematical inevitability.
It'd take all the fun away from it.
Yeah.
I'd say that.
Luck is all about perspective. You see, it's more factual than anything. Good luck, bad luck, it's the same.
Tell that to Tymora.
Exactly. Don't say that in her shadow now. She might hear you.
I'd greet her welcomely. And she just looks towards the tower and kind of almost, not disrespectfully, but just kind of like gesturing as if, to beckon someone. I'd be welcome.
Well, you seem awfully confident.
Oh, of course. Tymora, this is her city. I don't deny that. She's real. So is her, I suppose, portfolio. But it's not something I believe in. Not something I take stock in.
What do you believe in?
Fact.
Cold, hard facts. No room for faith.
Whoa. There's plenty of room for faith. Calculated risks are all part of the deal. If you're not bold, you won't get anywhere in life.
Still, all just based on logic anyways.
Precisely. It's all mathematics.
But by the way, Cassius would remember, since you mentioned the caravan, that in Immersea, especially since they picked up more rumors, you remember now that they have been talking about a guy who has been looking for people, who supposedly has the map, right? But now they kind of put it together, and that he's going on that whole circle of Arabel, Human Bridge, Sunset Hill, Hill March, and Sling Dyke, and then back to Arabel. Now, to you, because you have never seen a map of Cormyr, you don't have an exact perspective of how much, how big of a trail it is, but that's what you remember.
All right. Yeah, it was kind of mentioned a little bit, but that he makes also the circle from north to east to south, basically, and then to west to Arabel again. That's where we're at least, but.
And when Cassius talks about it, Stheno, because you're local, you know that a direct route from Arabel to Sunset Hill, even on foot, would take 1.5 days. The tour Arabel, Human Bridge, Sunset Hill would take 4 days.
Oh. So, out of character, just so I got this right, that whole tour would take 4 days.
No, the entire tour, Sunset Hill, Hill March, if we make the assumption, because you're the mathematician here, right? If we make the assumption that it's true that he's from Sunset Hill. The entire tour, Sunset Hill, Hillmarch, Sling Dyke, Arabel, Yeoman Bridge, and back to Sunset Hill would take 6 days, which kind of matches up with what the waiter said, right?
Okay.
But if he left 2 days ago from Arabel and he's going counterclockwise, right? So he's going to Yeoman Bridge next. He would be in Sunset Hill in 4 days. You could make it there in 1 to 2 days.
Gotcha.
It's the GM telling us to just gotta move on.
No, I'm giving you the facts. You can also wait. It's completely up to you. But I'm giving you a perspective on like traveling times.
Yeah, sounds good.
So yeah. Now that you mention it, Stheno explains that, and is once more kind of antsy. Unless there's anything specific you'd like to purchase here before we go, because this would be the place to do it. I suggest that we make haste.
This is definitely the place to do it, so I certainly need a few more things, just to be sure.
Well, I find myself a bit out of pocket, so I guess I might have to pick up a blanket or two, but that's about it.
Yeah, the cold weather gear seems good, but I'm not sure how much I can cover.
Well, cold weather gear will include a cloak of some kind. You can always use that as a blanket, so they double up.
Question is, how much it would have cost to have a whole weather gear?
Well,
you there,
can find out.
You said you're good at fighting, right?
Yes, yes.
You can make some coin. There's plenty of places to do that. I can show you where.
Well, now that depends on if we're staying here a few days or if we're traveling.
Well, it's up to you. I'd rather get going.
You also know places where you can get cheap cold weather gear.
Yeah. If you're looking for something on the cheap, just let me know.
If you're really that anxious about going, then let's
The only
find
thing
this
I'm
place.
looking for is some arrows before we leave. Or some arrowheads, either or.
Right. In that case, meet back here in, say, an hour, and then we'll do a round, then make our way. How's that sound?
So we're gonna leave here mid-afternoon for what is at least a day's journey?
It would take you, if you look at the
sooner
map,
we're out of this city, the better.
For more context, again, it would take you from Arabel to the crossroads, where like basically the road from Bospir meets the East Way. It would take you good 8 to 9 hours of travel. That's halfway onto Sunset Hill. If you leave now, you will not make it to the crossroads, right?
Okay.
Makes more sense for me. Makes more sense to me to just leave next thing tomorrow morning. Then we have the most of the day. I prefer not to travel at night.
It's like almost 2 p.m. by now.
Yeah. I would, if you're really anxious to go, I would still vote that we just wait. But if you're really anxious to go, then let's do it in the next morning. Buy our stuff now, leave tomorrow.
Well,
She just looks to everybody else.
Can everyone get what they need today?
Depends on how expensive it is.
Exactly.
Well, yeah. I mean, bare necessities, nothing more than that. The rest we can make or find.
Well, you can make her.
I take it you don't use bows?
No.
No.
Here, let me see your hands. And she just walks over and like grabs or attempts to grab your hand, Cassius, or your wrist, and turn your hand upwards.
So soon? All right.
I'm just looking for marks of
don't
hard
mind
work or not.
Ignore me.
Like the joke just flew right over her head. She just wants to see if your hands are used to hard labor or anything like that.
Oh, they're calloused. Yeah, they're not daddy fine hands.
Okay, so she sees this and nods in approval. Okay, and just lets your wrist go.
All right.
While she's doing that, I'm checking everybody's weapons. The giant maul on Samira's back, I assume, is on Samira's back.
No, peace bonded. It's on her hip now, since they didn't really have another way of peace bonding it.
But I
so
assume that I see that it's peace bonded.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And Cassius is carrying anything in particular?
A rapier at the side. And
But
that's
also
bonded as well.
bonded.
Yep.
And Stheno is carrying anything at all?
On her at the moment, no.
Mm-hmm.
So arrowheads. Let me see. How many?
20.
That would be 5 silver.
Sure.
Because that's the more expensive part of the arrow.
Yep, that's fine. Do you want me to add these manually because they're not arrows?
Yeah,
So-
you can add them manually as arrowheads.
How much do they weigh instead of a full arrow? 20 arrows is a pound, so...
It's half a pound. Because I don't want to calculate how much weight it takes up from the arrow. It's like, it's not that much heavy, otherwise the arrow would like tilt downwards, right?
Cool, that's me done.
Yep. Who next?
Cold weather gear.
Cold weather gear.
Yes, on the cheap.
Stheno, on the cheap, 5 gold.
Ah, shit.
Okay, I came at the perfect moment apparently.
5 gold, it's 8 pounds.
Ah, double shit.
Is there a cheap? Yep.
Not the one I imported. I took just cold weather clothing.
Oh wait. How much is it then on the import?
It was only 5. It only weighs 5 pounds.
Okay, how much is the cost of it?
No idea. It doesn't say.
Doesn't
I think
say.
I looked it up at. I think I looked it up at X website for 10G.
Yeah, because the one I'm looking at is like 8 pounds, right? And it's 10 gold.
Yeah.
Okay. I just used the like.
To be
buy
fair,
from the
this is
shop
the
option.
cheaper. This is the cheaper
Mhm.
one. So I would say it's the weight that Chris said, but it's 5 gold.
Is there a cheap blanket?
AKA, it's not Arctic weather cold weather gear, right? It's normal Cormyrian winter cold weather gear.
Yeah.
You'll have
Is
to
there
do.
like piecemeal of a cold weather gear, like a blanket or a cloak or something that costs much less but does accomplish something?
I mean, you can buy a blanket. That's like not a problem. You can buy a cloak.
Yeah.
You can't wear a blanket while you're moving though.
Yeah.
I'm getting a cloak. What does a cloak cost here?
Let me check for that. Because I have a
Oh boy.
really long list of all sorts of stuff. Transportation, no. Tailor textiles, there we go. Cloak, well, depends on, it would be a lined cloak, right? If you want to go for something warmer. A lined cloak on the cheap side would be 3 gold.
Oh.
But that's the
Just
thing,
can't.
like the cold weather gear is mostly the cloak with some warmer clothing on top of that. Right.
So, in this, seeing as this is the city of Tymora, would it, and seeing that Tymora is also one of the bigger gods, would this be a holy symbol I have in my repertoire that I can pull out?
Tymora, yes,
Can
absolutely.
Can I use it, try to use it to convince the shopkeeper to reduce the price? Perhaps.
how do you want to use it?
Basically
just
trying
the symbol ain't gonna give you.
Yeah, I'm just not like waving it in his face like a CIA badge. No.
FBI, open up!
So what I basically will try to do is go to the shopkeeper and plead that we're going on a dangerous mission and that I'm currently out of luck myself, and that I will try to go on his safe side, and that a small investment on his side will see his luck with Lady Tymora improved and produce the holy symbol.
I would like to help him with this, using the help action.
Yeah, but how are you helping? It's not like, you know, this is a charisma thing. How are you helping him here?
So, because I live in this city and I have quite a fair amount of knowledge, particularly with religion, I would like to whisper to him, some things that the merchants might know, and point out which merchants might be more amenable to such persuasions.
Okay, well, I'll go with that. You know who are more likely, into Tymora, right?
Mm-hmm.
And superstitious, because you lived here all your life.
Mm-hmm.
Cassius, roll me a persuasion with advantage.
Oh, hell yeah. There we go.
Does he
Boom!
need it?
Jackpot.
That's awesome.
Yeah, you get 50% off.
Nice.
Just
So
you or you and your companions?
I don't know, what did he ask for?
So I was going for the cold weather gear. So if it was 5 gold,
Mm-hmm. It's 2.5.
and that's 2.5 gold. Yeah, I'll take it.
I posted
Thank you.
the one that I took into Discord, just so you can see. It's 10 gold, but it only weighs 5 pounds.
Yeah.
Oh, so then then with the 50% off, because we were also buying it cheap, was it then 2.5 or now 5?
Like I said, it's 2.5. It's 2.5 gold now.
Perfect. Okay. Right.
Because I have a table where I have the full price, the cheaper price, the expensive price for the same thing, right?
And I will profusely thank the merchant, and Lady Luck will be with you, and quickly make my way out the door before they change their mind.
Put a good word in for me.
Yes, I will. Of course. And make my way out and pocket the holy symbol again, and whistle, make my way whistling back to the group if there were whoever else was outside.
Yeah, I was just watching this go down, just... Alright, okay. As soon as you left, I'd have approached... A blanket, please. Excuse me?
Well, yeah.
A blanket, please.
Yeah.
Just standard.
So you're not going for the cloak. You're not. I mean,
Nope.
a standard canvas cloak is 5 silver.
Yeah. I'll go with the canvas cloak.
Yeah.
Thank you. I wish you much luck on your
It's 2 pounds.
future
By the way,
sales.
it's heavy.
No problem. And I'll just shake my head, laughing under my breath, follow Cassius outside.
So yeah, that's it.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm not buying anything.
I think that's it. Yeah.
Okay. Any other gear, bedrolls, whatever, tents?
I
sit
have a
in the
better.
dirt.
I can't carry a tent.
Mules. I don't know.
I don't have the money for anything.
Oh goodness.
Well, that's it then.
So no one's carrying a tent.
Nope.
I mean, I live in the woods, so I'm used to it. But you three probably aren't used to it.
I'll get used to it.
Something tells me Cassius
put out
won't get
sometimes.
used to it.
I just hopefully
One of those
find.
nights where it's raining and it's cold. You'll be sitting there thinking, I wish I'd bought that tent.
I mean, yeah, but
I mean, Viera, you
I've
actually
never-
know that at the temperatures at the moment, when it drops like to 6-5 degrees Celsius at night, on a rainy night, you could actually potentially not wake up in the morning already.
Yeah, hypothermia.
Hypothermia is a thing, right?
Hypothermia kills.
I mean, I can put in some gold, but someone has to carry it. My backpack is full.
I mean, Samira, would you be able to carry it if other people pitched in to buy it?
Well, it would slow me down a bit, but I can carry it, no problem.
So, deep tent, I guess.
Let me check.
Right, come this way.
If you'd be so kind and if you'd be so kind and share it with me.
Of course.
Is it worth trying to go, if it's going to slow anybody down, is it worth just getting a 3-person tent? And then that way there's 1 person on watch and 3 people sleeping? If it's going to slow someone down, whoever carries it, then we might as well get something that can accommodate 3 people.
True. Would be more efficient.
Or a sled dog.
Sled dog.
Do you have a sled dog?
Excuse me?
Or a sled?
Or any snow.
You just have a little wooden bucket, right? And you have your big dogs carried around. There's a lot of halflings that come through here. They do a lot of stuff like that.
No, they have mules, Arrow.
Mules. they have mules.
There's no such thing as sled dogs in Cormyr.
Oh, right. That because that's freaking too far north. Not even like they don't ride mastiffs. Oh, I must have misread that. Shit, wrong document. Amend that.
Halflings are not that small, by the way. I mean, they're small, but not that small.
Oh, I was just thinking the dogs were big.
No, like, the standard dog is a standard dog. They're not, like, mount size.
Gotcha.
This is, like, again,
wrong world.
normal sizes, right?
Okay.
So how much are we looking for a normal sized tent?
I'm looking for it.
Because I know you can get a 2-person tent, but I'm assuming...
I'm looking for a 3-person tent because I know the money for a 2-person tent. Let me check. Okay. So it's a bit bigger, right? On the cheap side, it's actually it's 3 gold.
Can we manage that?
It's more a case of can we carry that, I think.
Well, I tried to lift it a bit, how heavy it would be.
Standard tent. Well, a bit heavier actually, sorry. It would be... Sorry. 25 pounds.
Well, If you're alright with me slowing down a tad bit, I can carry it, no problem.
It's not that much. It's cheaper because it's not actually that much bigger than a two-person tent. So basically, you will not. It's not gonna be roomy inside once you like crawl in. You're gonna be nice and cozy. Yeah.
Which helps with the heat.
But in the cold weather, you want to be cozy. So.
Exactly. So I could carry it, no problem.
I can
certainly put in a share for a tent. Though I probably won't be using it anywhere near as much as you three.
Stheno's just like grabbing your arms, Samira, and like, squeezing them. Oh yeah, you are.
Could you please not? And I just shake my hand off. Getting a bit personal. I don't like that.
Oh, very well.
Yes, I appreciate a certain amount of private bubble space.
Private bubble? What is that? What
space.
Is that? Space.
Between people. Privacy.
Why?
Bodily autonomy. Are those smart enough words for you?
So she just walks forward and like, so it's about here, alright? Or is it here? And she's just like moving her hand closer and further away from your face.
I slap her hand away. So how are we dividing this?
I can chip in. So if we all do like 8 silver, roughly, it should be good.
Well, 7.5 silver.
Yeah, 7 silver, 5 copper. If everyone has that.
Well, we could do that.
Oh, you're looking at me. There you go. Well,
7 silver and 5 copper.
I'll be willing to donate that, sure, if you're willing to rescind perhaps your bubble, since we might be coming close together at night.
You can sleep next to me. It's fine. I'll sleep in between you. Cassius is smirking so much. He's enjoying this.
I mean, it's not the problem. It's a very smooth way of getting in there. Yep.
I mean, before now, Samira was frowning a bit, but at this, she's just... she once again begins to lighten up, apparently liking your jokes. Well, I wouldn't mind.
Problem solved. I'll donate.
Alright. So I guess we buy the tent. Nice cozy tent.
I'll hand over my 7 silvers and 5 coppers. There you go.
I'll do the same. Deduct more coins.
And I'm gonna call here the
perhaps we can get it. Oh, I was gonna say perhaps we can get it cheaper if Cassius does the talking.
I think I've pushed my luck for today.
I wouldn't press that very much.
Yes, yes, you certainly did.
Because Cassius, you would have actually figured out, because of certain things you do, that Tymora actually stepped into the city at some point in person. It's a historical fact, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you certainly
might
not want to push it here, right? Yeah.
Cassius, he's learned that, especially with Lady Luck, it's not wise to try too much.
Yeah. But anyway, I will call the half mark here, by the way, because Shinny needs to unhydrate. Unhydrate. Yeah.
Too much information, a little bit.
I mean, I can also say I need to go pee-pee in the toilet.
Oh boy. Okay, break time.
So I'm gonna call a break. We'll be back in 10 minutes. Yeah. Go.
Oh, and Viera is still sitting on the grass.
And we're back. And Viera is still sitting on the grass.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
I have muffins.
Nom nom nom.
Nice.
Nom. Are you sure you don't need another 10-minute break to get through them?
No, it's fine.
Alright.
Hello.
So we have all we need?
I've got everything I need.
Mm-hmm.
Just need to find that lizardman.
Are we traveling out right now, or what are we doing? Tomorrow
it's
morning?
the
Happy
next
to
morning.
leave now.
Okay.
We
Well,
got 4 hours between us and the city, and then make camp on the side of the road. It's
well, don't lead the way.
Oh, you're leaving?
Relatively
You're not
late.
leaving in the morning?
Almost sightseeing?
No.
Huh? Alright.
sightseeing.
You know.
Is there anything to see?
I can paint a
Probably.
picture for you in your mind if you'd like. Or I can provide you an actual picture if you're willing to provide the medium.
Because by the
with
time you're
which
done
I can
shopping,
paint.
it's like 2 hours from sunset. I just want to point it out.
Yeah.
Mhm.
We're not getting 4 hours then. It seems like a unnecessary risk to me, but if you're all
Yes.
eager to go, but I would still say leave tomorrow morning.
I guess a good
One
question for the
more
local here.
complete night.
Stheno, how's the travel that way?
Out of character, the Purple Dragon Knights are pretty frequent on the roads everywhere around here, if I recall.
Less frequent on this
I'm not-
road,
Okay.
more frequent on the Moonsea Ride to the north, because of the proximity of the mountains, the Helmlands, and the Redwoods, and so on.
Right. Right.
The road, the east way, leading through the Hulak, is more like armed caravans, or like capable people. Like the farmers that come into the city, they usually have like capable farmers going with them who can like hold their own.
But it's safe
Okay.
within like an hour or two of the walls, sure.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Because I'd imagine there are relatively routine travelers or patrols or guards with caravans
Yes,
within
yes.
an hour of the city.
Within an hour of the city, yes.
And we'd be camping within an hour of the city, but we'd have an hour's head start tomorrow.
In the cold.
Or we have one more nice night in the city. And
Exactly.
an hour less.
Yes, and I still have my room rented for at least 2 more days, so at least
Do
I'm
we
not
all
wasting
have
too
our
much.
rooms rented for at least 2 more days?
I mean, it depends. I assume the Viera mostly slept outside the city because you can't afford it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's not the reason at all. She would sleep outside the city because she chooses to.
Yeah, she also chooses to. Yeah, but yeah, it would have been. They would have still had like another day, another night at least, right?
Well, I'm with the elf, so how about we leave this up to the lady of the city,
Look,
if you're so inclined.
well,
Sure,
just doing the honest.
I'm up for it. And produce a coin, I guess, and do a coin flip.
Roll me a 1d2.
And
Roll me a 1d20.
1d20?
Sorry. Odds are, you know.
Oh, isn't there
odds.
like a coin here, anyways?
There
There
is,
is
I think. Yes, there is a.
coin.
Oh, I
There's a
forgot
coin
that.
dice.
Yes, there's a coin die. Yeah, click that.
We have actual coins.
Which one is this? I'm not sure. Do I have a
I think
quick
it's
look?
just a 1d2, isn't it?
It's a 1d2, yeah.
And it flips the coin.
You gotta type
instead.
that one out. It isn't in the dice so nice
It isn't
thing.
in the
It's-
dice roll, yeah.
It's also
Yeah.
just /roll, right?
Yeah.
Slash R or slash
slash-
roll, I think both work.
Yeah, but before you roll, you should say what is.
Oh yeah.
Well, odds we
Uh,
leave the city.
Okay. Alright.
All right.
Huh.
Can I sleight of hand it? Can I sleight of hand it to make it even?
Roll me a sleight of hand check.
I'm watching him
Yeah, yeah.
Ooh.
flip the coin.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, you can see that he's I'm not even gonna make you roll it. You can see that
Does
he's
he
trying.
accidentally sleight of hand it to an odd?
Yes!
Probably, yeah.
Yes!
At which point Viera will just chuckle.
Man, net 1. That's perfect.
Yeah.
Lady Luck hates me now. So.
Yes, I mean, I wonder why.
She got you some cheap gear. She's not going
Yeah.
to favor you twice in a row.
It's she's fickle. I like it.
Or perhaps she wants you to learn a few of the trials of the road before you get to the tower, and it's actually a good thing. Who knows?
Hey, okay. It seems.
Alright.
Leaving, huh?
Does anybody want to
and
buy
Cassius
some
is
hello before we
grumpy.
leave?
Well, I want to ask a question. On this road and a traveler, how strictly checked are peace bonds?
In Arabel,
Outside
not
the
that
city?
strictly. And outside the
Outside
city,
the city?
around Arabel, and in Arabel, not that.
Would I
that
know
strict.
enough to say that you're in the company of me, who is a guild member with a pin, so you won't really checked?
Stheno can tell you that in Arabel there are so many people who have exceptions for one reason or another that the purple dragons actually do not bother looking into it that hard.
Basically, unless you're causing trouble, then
Yes.
they will look at it. But
And as a side note, as for my weapon, I do have a sheath for it, and then I do have like some string to just do that myself. Just,
Good to know. And I just sit down next to on the grass and just start untangling. If you mind waiting a second.
Same. Gonna untangle the peace bond on my rapier.
Yeah. Much more comfortable.
Okay, so I'm just gonna skip us forward that hour when you make camp, because
cool.
this close to the city, there's nothing really that exciting happening. So you make your
I'm
camp.
gonna leave it for them to set up the camp and the tent, and while they're doing that, I'm gonna head off to hunt for something to eat.
Nice.
Nice.
Make me a survival check.
Probably some kind of field rabbit or something like that.
And
So, 1 second, I just need to check something, because it didn't actually save it last time. Survival.
Yeah.
Keep in mind I gathered twice as much, if necessary.
yeah, no problem.
Yeah. So I'm gonna gather just enough to feed 4. And no
Yeah, it's field rabbits, right?
Is it probably 1 per person?
1 per
Or is
2
that
people.
too much?
That's it's
1 per 2,
smaller.
okay.
Yeah. They're not
Yep.
that
I will-
big, right? The fat ones are not as close to
Yeah.
the road.
I'm obviously gonna go for the more elderly rabbits if I can, rather than the younger ones.
You can't really tell in like okay, it didn't start. Actually, yeah, you have night vision. Yeah, okay, sure.
Dang elves!
I come back with 2 rabbits. I hope
And
that
I have
campfire's
started a
going.
fire. I have started a fire. I haven't touched a tent since I don't know how the fuck to build a tent.
So I would help Cassius set that up. Since, no.
I
Well,
assume
Ca-
that
Cassius
none of you
obviously
two has
has no clue,
experience with tents.
Nope.
Yeah.
I got 0 experience with tents, but you know.
Okay,
It's exciting.
awesome. Stheno, roll me a general intelligence, and Cassius a general dexterity check.
All right.
Let's see how this looks.
Ability check.
Oh. Ooh.
Okay, it does take you the entire time, basically, especially like once the fire gets going, it gets easier because then you can actually see shit, right? But it takes you the entire time that the elf needed to catch the rabbits and then come back and skin them to set the tent up. And there might not, like, if there's a really, like, a storm going, if there, like, picks up a stronger wind, it might not hold, but it's fine as it is now.
That was fun, wasn't it?
Yeah, so much fun. Could have just stayed in the city in a nice bed.
There's not
That's
going to
okay,
be a
you'll get
nice
used to
bed
it.
everywhere you go.
Yeah, but so we could have
rabbits.
we could have enjoyed it for one less. It's fine. That's fine.
That's why I travel with my bed. Ships are better.
Could have had another bath. God damn.
There's going to be a river. Somebody said something about a bridge. There's a river. Plenty of places to
Plenty
bathe.
of water.
So,
Anyway,
do you
I'll
think the
start
weather's
cooking
gonna
the
hold up?
rabbits.
Do you think the weather's gonna hold
Sorry,
up?
what did you say?
If you think the weather's gonna hold up, I mean, you seem the expert here.
It's autumn time. Generally, it's been quite an unusual year with lots of rain, so I would expect at least some rain.
Alright. Might as well be practical. And I start setting up a rain catcher for the night.
Nice.
Can I
So,
check the weather, Shin? Do I know whether it's likely to rain tonight or not?
Let me just consult. No, it's clear skies completely.
Clear skies.
Not a single like cloud
And
inside.
It hasn't rained for like the last couple of days, aka it's not likely to rain again.
No, it has rained basically about over 10 days ago. It's been cloudy, but it hasn't rained.
Okay.
It's a bit of a dry autumn, right?
Okay. In which case, I would relay that.
Yeah.
Okay, then I wouldn't have started unpacking the rain catcher.
those rabbits there. Did you catch enough for sharing, perhaps?
Unless you're greedy, half a rabbit's more than enough. So
Oh
yes,
no, not greedy at all.
between two.
Fantastic. I can add a little bit to even things out. So she opens up her pack and pulls up this red wheel and starts like peeling away just a small bit of the wax. It's a bit of a delicacy from home.
Oh,
Cheese indeed.
very good.
Probably the best you'll ever have. I'm a fan. And so she portions a little bit out, like a small chunk for everybody.
Thank you.
Well, at least we'll be finally fed today. Thank you, both of you.
No problem.
You're welcome.
So, who's taking first watch? It's getting quite dark.
Well, I don't need to sleep anywhere near as much as you three, so why don't you three sleep first? And I will wake you up, or I will wake up the first person kind of a couple of hours before dawn.
Pardon me if I may. I'm not too fond of having two people asleep, or three people asleep at once. I'll mind the first watch with you.
Sure.
FYI, for the people who need to rest 8 hours, you can have for 2 hours within your long rest, you can spend on a light watch, not like walking around, just sitting and looking around. You can spend 2 hours and still get a long rest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll do that. And then I look to the other two. Just for safety's sake.
Yeah, but for all of our benefit, just make me the last watch, so it's actually light outside because I can't see shit here.
Wake me between then.
Sure.
Fair enough. And not to be rude, Miss Samira, was it?
Yes.
I'll have to shake you.
If something I have asked you for, then go ahead. You can shake me awake. You can share a tent with me. Just coming up to a person and fondling them doesn't, well, sit well with me. So, just as far as you know that.
Sure. Seems to sit well with this man here, but everybody's different. I'll respect that.
Thank you. I'm off then. Have a good watch.
Yeah. Good watch.
Everyone, please roll me a general perception check for your watches.
Alright.
Is it just
So what kind is it
normal,
gonna be
or
for
is
me?
it with disadvantage?
Why would it be?
Yeah, what kind is it gonna be for me, Shin?
No, it's
Disadvantage for everyone.
why would it be disadvantage? Just normal roll, also including Samir, because you also look. Well, actually, no.
Okay.
Disadvantage, yes. I'm sorry. The humans roll with disadvantage because they can't see shit. I remembered now. It's
Also
dark.
not in
Okay,
the
so I'm
morning?
normal. Alright.
Damn it! That's so good. Alright, I'm just gonna do another normal one, and okay, so that's 15 for me.
So I just roll normal.
Yes, you roll normal. You keep like throughout the night. The humans don't notice anything. Well, Stheno and actually Viera, like you can notice just like the usual animals, right? There is an owl that made itself comfortable in the tree above. It's a small owl, and makes owl sounds.
Oh, that's cute.
I will try and approach it to see if I can feed it some of the rabbit.
Make me an animal handling.
And is it a kind of owl that I've seen before, or is it a new kind of owl? Like, I would be used to kind of foresty owls.
It's a normal foresty. It's I forgot the name. It's like a pygmy owl. It's more. You don't find them. You don't find them that often in the wider forest. They're more like around settlements and stuff.
Okay. Barn owls.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. It flies away.
I'll eat the bit of rabbit that I was going to give it. And then set it back down again.
Just gonna
and
stand and watch
otherwise
quietly.
Sorry, Arrow?
Oh no, I was just saying I was gonna
quietly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the next day arrives. No, sorry. Wrong. Aha! Damn it. Ignore it. Magic.
What was this road? Huh?
Wait,
road?
there's a house?
It's in the distance.
What are we doing?
It's far away. It
I was
looks.
gonna say we could have just knocked on the door and had a good bed for the evening.
No, it looks like it looks more like a barn than a house. Honestly, it's not. It's not.
Oh, is that where the owl came from?
No.
No.
Just checking.
No, just a very clear no.
But yeah, god damn. Super fucking fail. Like, oh yeah, I totally named things in a way where like I will not misclick. Woohoo! God damn it.
Calm down. Breathe in.
Yeah. Anyway, So yeah, you on the way. You pack up the tent. Who's
Break
packing up
camp,
the tent?
make sure we cover up the fire, make sure that there's no chance it can...
Are you helping the two, capable people?
I will watch for the first couple of minutes, smirking, until I eventually just intervene and stop, and then start packing up little bits and show them how to pack up a tent.
Oh, that's lovely. I figure we'll get the hang of it right soon with you showing us how to do things.
Well, I can do the tent if you like, and you guys can go hunting.
No.
No,
Let's,
why not? It's a good experience.
Well, you can try it tonight then.
Yeah.
As long as you don't go
I would rather not go hungry through a hunting failure, so on. Be reasonable.
We'll be fine.
Well, if she wants to try her hand, just let her. I have some rations.
Doesn't hurt to have somebody else who knows, just in case I go missing or am incapacitated.
Is that something that happens to you a lot?
No, but
nothing wrong with precautions.
I grew up amongst the people who are used to having fail-safes, if you like, so more than one person knew how to do everything. Otherwise, if only one person knew how, and they got killed by an orcish raiding party, that was a bit of a problem. So,
that being the case, would you mind if I went with you the next time you go hunting?
Carry on, as long as you don't scare away the prey.
Very well.
Oh, that's settled then. Yes.
Make sure that the fire's kind of out properly, and no chance of setting the field on fire, for argument's sake. And then try and cover that we've had a campsite here, kind of brush the grass around a bit, make it look like it's just windswept.
What's that about?
Just covering our tracks a little bit.
You scared of someone following?
Quite not of approval.
Well, you never know, do you? Better to be safe than sorry.
I find myself quite appreciative on a capable company.
Well, you can tell me all about that on the way. Let's go.
Okay, so you get on the way. For the first 4 hours, nothing special happens, right? You take a little break around noon, when the sun is high, under a tree, for the shade. Just like, eat something, have a drink. 8 hours of walking. What?
Is it a fruit tree by any chance?
I mean, let me check.
This specific tree, is this a fruit tree?
No, it's not.
Next one.
Oh, okay.
What kind of tree it is? How old is it? How long has it been dead? It's like, I don't know. It's a fucking tree.
No, generally speaking, I'm going to be keeping an eye out for food as we move.
Okay,
so
yeah.
If there's berry bushes or whatever, I'll grab some berry.
Mind you, this is all farmland. So you know.
I figured near the city would be.
Yeah.
But the further we get out, the more chance there will be.
As you're sitting there, while you're resting, wait, Stheno is a passive perception of 12. No, you're the only one who notices this. You start noticing the ground rumbling, vibrating, like something is moving and burrowing underneath. Something big.
I was gonna say, judging by the sound of that, that was a dragon.
No, it's like a rumbling sound, right?
Do I have any experience of underground burrowing creatures?
Oh yeah, plenty. Could be all kinds of things.
Like Ankhegs?
I mean, Are you looking around?
After hearing that noise, absolutely.
Yeah, so slightly away from the road, you see there is actually a somewhat fresh pile of dirt. It looks big, but it looks like parts of the pile are older and parts of the pile are fresher. So it
Is
looks
it
like
obvious which direction the hole is heading in?
no, it's a wider area of like something coming repeatedly up there, right?
Okay. Kind of, can I gauge the size of it without alerting anybody else to the fact that I am kind of skipping over to the pile of dirt?
Make me a nature check.
Because I don't want to scare anyone.
It's way bigger than a normal. The pile of dirt is like 4 times the size of what you would, think of an Ankheg. But again, it has traces of something coming up, right, multiple times. So it might have like widened it over time.
Yeah, does this count as like tracking per se?
Yeah, you can do a survival check if you want.
I'm just thinking. Just trying to figure out if I had advantage on the roll or not. It's just normal. I'll do nature, because I'm more interested in what kind of creature it is.
I mean, judging by the area, Ankheg is very likely.
Farmland's pretty common for Ankhegs.
Yeah.
Okay, Is the sound getting louder the further along we get, or is it just this one spot?
It seems to be moving around this area at the moment. It's not moving directly underneath you, but like it's moving close enough for you to feel it, right? The vibrations.
Yeah, okay.
And actually, as you think about it,
I'll yell Ankheg.
And come on, give me the picture. No, there we go.
We can see it, no worries.
This comes out.
Oh, no.
Ank what now?
Ankheg!
The fuck?
Ankheg!
This comes out. So, I will call initiative at this point. Just give me a second. For the sole reason of because it bursts out, I want to see what you guys are doing, right? And give me a second because this is the first time I'm calling actually an encounter, right?
Oh, nice.
So
I was gonna say, how close to us is it bursting out?
Well, you were here, right?
We were resting, right? He said.
So take up your
No,
position.
we were walking along the road.
No, you were resting. You were resting.
Oh, okay, we were resting.
Yeah, just in the middle. This is her noticing this in the middle of you taking a short rest.
In which case, I assume this is the dirt pile.
Yes, that's the dirt pile.
Because I was kind of over in that general direction investigating. So I probably would have been around here, at least.
We would have been around the tree.
I probably would have been.
I was lying underneath the tree.
Kind of just going through some slow motions. Tai Chi.
Yeah, I'm just lying on my back, just flicking.
There's no such thing as Tai Chi in Cormyr, Arrow. I will slap you.
Character. You know what I mean, though. Like, obviously, some meditation of some kind, like some physical, like, very slow motion.
So, I will just give me a second. I'm gonna add you all. Boom. Okay, if you go into the combat tracker.
Mm-hmm.
You can just
click on the die.
Wasn't it? You can just right click on it, can't you?
Oof.
Well, before I do that, do you remember me saying that I do my thing between 8 and 4 every day?
Between 8
Ginny
and 4?
wasn't paying attention at all. I will message you very briefly on Discord.
Okay, while they're doing that, where is the combat tracker?
It's the second next to the fist.
The fist.
Next to
the
chat bubble.
speech.
Oh,
top
gotcha.
right.
Oh, okay, gotcha. And so all I have to have is this open and then roll initiative?
You can click on the dice button that's
dice
next to
button,
your
yeah.
name.
Yeah,
in the
should be a
tracker.
dice next to your name.
You can just click on the
Cool.
D20 next to your name. So,
There you go.
Oh, that's awesome.
yes? No? Chin?
Oh, not the roll.
Give me a second. Sorry, I was setting up something.
Okay.
Cause new tool. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Yeah.
First, so I'm gonna roll a D8 first, and then that's gonna be my plus for today.
Okay.
Basically, because this is so the way I figure that works the best is that I just roll a D8 the first time we initiate initiative.
Yeah.
And that will be my bonus for the day.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Alright, nice.
So I get
Damn.
Nice.
That's okay.
yeah, exactly.
So, since you are the first one to be aware also what's gonna happen, and you were sorry, I need to tone down this music a bit. Oh my god!
Very
what
like
peaceful is-
it's okay, it's peaceful,
It's
it's
super
calm,
relaxing,
there's
yeah.
nothing bad about that at all.
No! Wait.
Uh-oh.
No, wait. This is
That's
better.
more ominous. I was hoping for a peaceful conversation.
Yeah, let's talk to this bug. Cassius, get up there.
No way.
Okay. This is more appropriate here.
Screw you.
It's not quite as pompous. Okay, so what to do, Viera?
I've already got my bow drawn. I'm going to hold an action for if it attacks us first. Otherwise, I'm backing away, telling everyone, don't attack it first. Back away as fast as you can behind the tree and keep going. And I don't know how big the battle squares are here, so
5
I'm going
feet.
to assume I can go.
If you take the ruler tool,
Yes, and
you
then-
know, on the left
Oh, that's
side
cool.
where the icons are, and you have the ruler tool, and you hold
so I can
control.
move to there.
If you hold control, you can like click several like instances, like the Q option on Roll20, right? And then if you hit space, it will move you to there.
So that's 35 feet. So I'm going to back away to there.
Okay.
I'm assuming, do I get some kind of cover from the tree?
Yes.
Okay, and it has some kind of cover from me as well, I presume.
Yes. Half, I would say. Because the tree is as thick as you are, basically.
Oh, how dare you.
As in, it's not a shitty small tree, right? As in, it's also not too old, but it's like enough.
Yeah.
It's elf wide, right? Anyway, Cassius.
Yeah, I'm just gonna curse, draw my rapier and move there. and also hold my action if it gets close enough for it to attack me threateningly. So just holding my attack. That's it. Oh, sorry. I have to press enter.
Okay, so next one up is it. It kinda looks at you, right? It kind of like shuffles, tilts forward, and kind of like edges back into its hole, and it does like the mandible, you know, moving, and the little antenna, right? And it goes and like tilting its head
Just
slightly.
Movement. Yeah.
It's aware of you, right? But it's not quite like, it's not even coming out of the hole entirely, right?
Yeah, it's just investigating movement.
Yeah. Stheno?
Right. I first, upon turning to see this, would like to see what I remember about these particular creatures, if I've heard anything about them.
Yes. I mean, you don't even have to roll me. Like, yes, you do know about Ankhegs. They're like large insectoid creatures that are burrowers. They don't actually like that much coming to the surface, but in the farmland, it does happen because they like to, you know, grab the sheep and stuff. Because easy prey. They're not to mess about. Like, it usually takes several farmers to take out.
Okay. So
they spit acid.
I will calmly move back to the tree first, so 11 feet. Oh, how do I do that? And then
space.
Right, space. Okay. Then I'll don my backpack and grab my naginata, and then just walk away. Just
Your what?
Casually. Just walking away.
Grabbing his backpack from the rest stop and then leaving.
Okay.
Yeah. And then right about here.
Okay. That's it?
Yep, that's my turn. Do I press enter? Oh, and turn. Yeah, cool.
Yeah, or just click enter.
Yeah. Samira.
All right. Completely off guard. Samira was lying on her back, just resting with her head on her backpack, just Anchor, what is happening? What is going on? And just turning around, seeing this thing now.
It tilts its head.
Fucking. I stand up and just start basically crouching.
It looks like a giant cockroach, basically. It looks like a cockroach. You've seen those on ships. But like a million times bigger. And it's like, cockroaches are not the most like pleasant looking creatures to begin with. And now you can see all the details of a cockroach, but like, you know, way more details than you would have ever wanted to see ever.
And I just turn and say, what is that? And that's my turn.
Something you don't want to mess with. Let's just quietly keep moving down the road. And I'm obviously gone at that point off the map. Because it is combat map, too small.
Yes!
I am 20 feet off the map.
Yeah.
That way.
Alright. Following the advice of the people who know what they're doing here. And then 15 feet off the map. And staying with Viera, roughly. I'm not trying to outrun her.
Keeping my eyes on the Ankheg as well at all times, just to make sure it doesn't disappear back underground.
that's Cassius?
Oh. Yeah, sorry.
So, seeing that you guys are... seeing. It does, tilt its head, mandibles and antenna, twitching. And it kind of twitches back into the hole. Each time you move, it's clearly, sensitive, right? But then it's, kind of, shuffling back. And it's almost like it's awkward, shuffling back into the hole and kind of backwards burrowing itself. Shuffle, wiggle. And it's gone. It wasn't the kind of gone where it's not aggressive digging. It's just slowly backed back down into its hole.
Move.
Huh. Didn't look so bad. It left.
Oh, it's bad, all right. Let's just hope there's not more.
Well, I don't mind more as long as they're like that one and just not interested in us. So
you're the expert, I guess. So
it's when they become interested in you that it's a problem.
They do, are they? They look an awful lot like cockroaches.
They like the
They're
taste
an
of sheep.
insect of sorts. Yeah, they eat meat, but they're very good for the farmland. They make the farmland very arable. So.
They look awful.
Well.
As long as they're not killing your flock of sheep, they're a very good thing for a farmer. So.
I guess so.
Also very dangerous. Don't recommend getting into a fight with one unless you have to.
Break's over now, I'm guessing?
Afraid so. Languished under the tree for long enough. Let's go.
I could have used 5 minutes more, but alright.
Well, we can always stop 5 minutes shorter. And secretly actually push on for 5 minutes longer.
You meanie.
Well, speaking of that, you continue on and you eventually come to a crossroads and you could actually push on, but there seems to be a farming caravan building up camp right there. It seems like a place where people are resting all the time, right?
Is it late afternoon by now?
It's getting towards late afternoon, and yeah, you could push on and but you also have these people here setting up camp.
Can you give us a breakdown of who is here?
It looks like farmers.
Guards?
There's no, there's no guards, but the farmers look capable. They have weapons on them, nothing too fancy, right? But they look like they have been doing this before, and they know their stuff. The camp is set up quickly, efficiently. They're chatting with each other. They have living sheep with them as well, tied to the carts. There's 4 carts with mules dragging them, and oxen. And they have some goods on the carts. It looks they're heading into the direction of Arabel, but they are taking a break here.
Does it look like they're setting up camp for the night?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what I was talking about when they're setting up camp. Yes, they're setting up camp for the night.
Yeah, I didn't know if you just meant an afternoon break or something.
No. They're setting up for the night.
And how many of them are there?
A good dozen of people overall, and 5 more burlier. There's quite a bit of them.
Yeah. Okay. And they all look. Do they look like they are all farmers who know each other?
Oh yeah, they talk the same way. You know.
Okay. So they basically come from a community of sorts.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. As we're approaching, I we'll turn around and offer we could stop here for the night, unless you don't like strangers, in which case we can press on further. But safety in numbers, generally.
Yeah, so I want to ask if it's safety in numbers or lure in numbers, since they got sheep. Would that not...
They're the kind of travelers who are used to defending themselves, so if an Ankheg did pop up, I'd rather have 12 farmers with us than none at all. Think of it that way.
You also noticing, by the way, that they're
ma'am.
setting camp in a way up where like they're putting the animals in the middle and they're setting up a perimeter around them. So it's not like they're leaving the sheep off to the side. It's like, hey, look, we have tasty sheep food, you know.
Look at this walking banquet.
They are practiced travelers, yes. Very much so.
And it's not just like sheep. There's also lambs that they take care of, like they're on the carts, right? It clearly looks like they're dragging them to be like sold, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I say we go.
I mean,
for it.
Stheno, you know that the communities here are like sheep herders galore, right?
Cool. Yeah, I'll approach too.
So, hey, hail! It's like one of the guys.
I'm letting Cassius go in front.
Cassius takes the cue and walks in front with his arms wide.
You look like Arabel folk.
Hello, friends.
What you doing out here?
Yes, we traveling east to Sunset Hill.
What are doing in Sunset Hills? There's nothing there. If you want sheep, you should come to our place, Bospir. Bospir is way better. We have a tavern. They don't have taverns.
You really have a tavern?
Yeah, proper
that
tavern.
Sounds so much better.
It's like if you want like a proper brawl and drink and fun, you come to Bospir. And come to the tavern.
And I turn around to the rest of the group, huh? Sounds lovely.
Eyebrow raise.
Gently shaking my head.
Yeah. So are you staying here for the night? Would you mind if we
Oh yes. We're making camp. We're travel, once every 10 days we go to Arabel, we sell our goods. You would like to buy some. We have mutton and we have dried mutton and we have salted mutton and we have wool and we have sheep and we have lambs. Look, we have lambs.
That's cute.
Very quality, very good.
And
Brody over there, he has the best sheep cheddar in the entire area. You have to try. Only gold a pound.
Well,
super cheap. You should totally, completely, absolutely have some.
Well, if you wouldn't mind us camping aside by you, why not just regale us with all your tales of your products?
Come and sit. Like and like they're a rowdy bunch, but they're very friendly, right? So basically, if you sit down, they will basically tell you all about Bospir, which is basically the quintessential sheep market town. It's some of them will be like, bragging about how great it is, and then some of them's like, shut up, it's just a dusty, gathering of cottages. And it's stands at a trail moot in the midst of many sheep and cattle ranches clustered around 3 deep wells. And the only good road to it links up with the east way that you're on right now, right? And basically there's sheep everywhere. And somebody will even say there's a stink of sheep everywhere as well. It's over the evening you will gather that Bospir isn't an inspiring place to visit unless you love wool, fancy lamb on your table, or you want to buy and sell the beasts, right? But they do indeed have an inn. It's called the Drover's Inn, and it's kind of also the only place to stay overnight in Bospir. Although they take on travelers all over the houses, right? There's also a tavern actually, the Nightly Tavern, but it's as you gather, is like regularly like rocked by drunken brawls, because the sheep herders are like a wild bunch, you know. And even
Awesome.
during the evening, you will pick up bits and pieces of like, your grandfather or your father, or like, you did this, and they like remember, and then kind of gotta get a bit rough with each other, but then they like calm down again, right? So yeah.
How much would during the evening somebody would ask how much a bit of their wool would cost?
The wool is 2 silver per pound.
Okay, I would actually buy a pound.
It's raw. It's brushed wool, right? But it's clean and stuff. It's washed, right? But
yeah, I would spend the rest of my evening basically taking my cloak with my weaver's tools and just inserting wool and then stitching it back up. Basically insulating it.
Clever, very clever.
Nice.
So now
they also sell salted lamb for 1 gold a pound, a smoked lamb for 1 gold a pound, sheep cheddar for 1 gold a pound, and sheep for 2 gold per sheep.
That's okay. I will go hunting for fresh food. I will help to show.
They will offer you dinner, however, for free.
I was going to swap them some mutton for some freshly caught rabbit.
I mean, you can do that still. I just wanted to say that.
I will do that. I will do that anyway, because it's not in my nature to accept gifts without doing something.
Check, please.
I will take the gifts. Hell yeah.
I will poke Stheno and point out that I'm going hunting for some rabbits. She's fine to shadow me if she wants, but stay behind.
Sure. Before I do go, however, how much was a sheep?
It's 2 gold.
Oh no.
The lambs are 3 gold.
Say that.
2 gold per sheep.
3 gold?
2 gold per sheep, 3 gold for lambs.
Oh, that's pretty tempting. What? What's wrong with that?
It's Ankheg bait, maybe. Yes.
The lambs are.
Do you want to fight?
The lambs
or do you want to run?
Because it's night, they're like curled up, and they're like these like little cute fluffy pillows of fluffiness.
Yeah, that's so cute.
And they smell of milk.
Yeah.
And they're super adorable.
Yeah, exactly. So before, like when we're approaching, if we have like the 2 hours before she goes hunting or whatever, I would definitely speak to the people who live with these things and raise them, and I'd like to know more about the sheep themselves, and
they will tell you everything about the sheep, more than you even want to know, right?
Fucking
okay.
The entire life is about sheep, so they don't do anything else. They tend to sheep. They farm food for the sheep. They farm whatever they need, to eat and stuff, that kind of stuff. They're self-sufficient communities, right? But like there's otherwise not much they do with their lives, so they talk about sheep a lot and they know a lot about them, right?
Awesome. So the key points I would like to know is how difficult would it be to travel with one who, doesn't deal with sheep normally? Is the first question.
They will laugh into your face.
Okay, so pretty difficult. If that's the case, then
they think that
I'll just leave it
they were laughing because they were like, "Ha ha ha! You're so funny, great joke!" Finger guns.
Oh.
Pat you on the shoulder, hilarious.
Oh, hello. No, but really, I would like to know. that would be the type of response they.
You're serious? Oh no, that would no, unless you want to torture the animal or like no. Don't be bad to the sheep.
Okay. So in that case, I'm definitely not going to purchase a sheep, but I will definitely like to sleep with them.
I mean, they will tell you that the lambs might look like cute pets, but they're not good pets, right?
Okay. Dang. All right. That's all I have then. I'll definitely like to sample some cheese later though. So, see if it's worth it.
Ooh.
It's
Look, scared
sheep.
away the rabbits.
It's cheddar. Cheddar. It's like imagine older cheddar, because they're traveling a full day or 2 days actually to Arabel, so they can't like take with them fresh cheese. So it's like aged cheese. But imagine like cheddar already
strong.
when it's aged can have a strong aroma. This is sheep cheddar. Like basically you don't even have to lean in to take a sniff. He like pulls back the tarp, right, that covers it, and you go it's like it's strong.
You just hold my nose, wave. Wow, yes, that's lovely. Wow,
Oh yeah,
really
yeah. You gotta try it. It's like they're clearly into it. You know how like certain cheese lovers, they're like the really stinky ones, right? And they like really love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And everyone else is like.
No, I could get used to that.
Yeah, they cut you off a tiny piece and try to give it to you so you can eat it.
Yeah, I'll take a nibble, see if it's worth my time.
Constitution saving throw, please.
Okay.
Check for cheese.
Yeah. You can keep a poker face. It's fine. Yeah.
Okay. That's got quite the zing to
it's
it.
Fucking strong, yeah. It brings tears to your eyes.
Oh, just acting real professional. But yes, inside it's like. Yes, I think I'll abstain for now. Thank you for the kind sample, and perhaps I'll drop by sometime to purchase some in bulk.
Anytime. More shoulder patting, finger guns.
Yeah. I'm just gonna go with the elf to Shadow. Dang. And then the moment I'm away, I just wow. Like holding my jaw and like rubbing my stomach a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
That was some strong cheese. Oh.
Shh, you're scaring away the rabbits.
Shh,
right.
it's rabbitsies.
So yeah, I rolled an 8 on my survival check.
The proximity of the loud people scared the animals away, so you don't find anything.
Okay.
Must be the cheese. They can smell it, can't they?
The sheep herders are quite loud.
Yeah.
It's definitely the cheese.
But we set up camp quite early, didn't we? So,
Yeah.
What time is it after I haven't found anything in the nearby vicinity?
The sun hasn't even set yet.
Okay, alright. At which point I would say it's obviously not good hunting around here because of the farmers. Maybe you should return to camp. I'll head further out and see if I can find anything further out.
Very well.
Roll me another one.
Just nods and head back.
I'm basically going to turn and book it in the best possible direction for hunting and probably run for an hour before I then stop and take up and then start tracking again and start looking for more.
Survival.
Ooh.
Oh no.
Not a good night.
No, the 10 is a DC. It's farmland, so rabbits are actually quite common at night because they come out and nibble on the farm goods. It takes another hour of tracking horror.
That's fine. So it's long after dark by the time I come back.
You find 2 rabbits again. You couldn't really pick which ones you wanted this time.
Just the first 2 at this point.
So you actually, if you took an hour to, like, before you start tracking, and it took you another hour, so it basically takes you 2 more hours to get back. So you're back around 10 p.m. at the camp. And like the others, like guys, she stayed out way longer this time.
It looked like the elf has left us.
Do you think so?
Possibly.
Well,
maybe she didn't want to share the tent anymore.
I doubt that.
She seemed quite a dependable sort. Maybe she just... Well, it's taking a long time to return.
She was invested in sticking with us this far. I'd assume that either she's taking some time extra to hunt, or something's found her. Either way, it's not like we can go and help her. Just have to wait and see. Oh. Who's making that sound?
No, that's not. It's not a flute in the scene.
It's just background.
That's some lovely flute music. No, I'll definitely help with anything camp related, but otherwise, I'll head off just slightly away from the camp, and to be on my own. Since there's no real need for like us to be, constantly switching out and launch, I'll let everybody know that I'm heading out to like maybe 20 feet away from camp. Still in sight of the fire, but just to meditate on my own.
I'll make a fire and just sit beside it and just say, I'm gonna take first watch, wait and see if aren't different returns.
Yeah, sounds good. I'll try to see if I can sleep with all this fucking sheep making noise. Starting to regret my decision. No, they're fine.
Some wool left if you want to stuff your ears.
And he kind of crinkles his nose at the wall. It's like, yeah, thanks, but no thanks.
Thought so. Well, try your best to sleep well.
Yeah. Good night.
I'm gonna wake you up if my watch ended and she's not back.
Alright, sounds good.
So yeah, the night passes calmly. Nothing happens. No Ankhegs. Some bleating of the sheep throughout the night.
And at some point the smell of roast rabbit.
I mean, and they just set up like shifts of like multiple guards, not just like one person. They have like pairs of 3 or 4 people even at some point, right? They also stay up for a while. They're not like immediately all going to sleep either. But yeah, that's basically the night. And then the next morning.
Does Viera return?
I mean, yeah, she does around 10 p.m. So like way before midnight.
Okay.
Like I said, he did describe like eventually you have the smell of roast rabbit.
Oh, sorry, then I just didn't register.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So, then the next morning comes. Too many screens. Activate. And the sun will rise. And you wake up to dawn.
We're going around in circles.
With the camp, like, coming to life and making noise.
Yep.
And I will murder you.
I would have, Stheno would have stayed outside of the tent this time to experience sleeping just without any cover. So she'll be nearby the camp, just kind of splayed out, with her backpack under her head.
Your choice.
Yep.
That's a cold night.
Yeah.
Is, yeah.
I'm just gonna
I'm fine with...
give a look at as she stays outside once I return to my tent. Just, really? Okay.
And then as you're getting ready and getting up, and the farmers will offer you some gruel for breakfast, right?
Mhm.
Because they're prepping it, they make enough, to have spare. And they happily share it. Especially because I also assume that like you guys shared back like info from Arabel and stuff, like how stuff are there. But yeah, the sun is up by the time you're done. And they pack and start heading off towards Arabel.
And
It's lovely.
Viera will offer to carry the tent this time.
Oh, you sure?
Well, it seems only fair. We can take it in turns.
I mean, I'm fine with it, but okay, here you go.
Cassius looks like with this like, oh, you can take turns, yeah. He just like walks away.
Strap it to the bottom or the top of the backpack, and then put it back on her back, and then start heading off. Make sure the fireplace is out, of course.
Yeah,
Double check the farmer's fireplace is out too.
Yes, they made actually sure of that themselves because especially this like far into autumn, the fields are very dry, so a fire could actually set the entire countryside ablaze potentially. So they are very careful with that, right? Because they live off this land, they pay attention to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, with you carrying this, like, of course you're progressing a bit slower, right? So you make it to the part where you see the bridge, about an hour past noon. And this is actually where you bump into the next caravan, which is clearly coming from the south, from the direction of Sunset Hill. It's another group. This is much smaller. It's like 2 carts and like half a dozen people. Sturdy farmers, right? Who are coming from the direction of Sunset Hills. And traveling also to Arabel to sell goods. No sheep, however. What they have in turn is salted fish, smoked fish, and wheat.
So, how well does that stuff keep over time?
Salted fish, smoked fish for quite a while.
Okay.
This is why they're transporting it.
So,
fresh fish wouldn't keep up all the way to Arabel at all.
If that's the case, I'd like to see if I can snag maybe just like 1 or 2 meals worth. 2 meals worth.
No, they're selling it by the pound.
Oh, okay. By the pound? How much per pound?
The salted, both are 6 silver per pound. Because they have packages per pound. They're not going to break up a package and then they're not going to be able to sell it, right?
Right. 6 silver.
Are we making camp by the river?
No, they're on the way.
No. It's only midday.
No, I meant us.
So
okay.
they're just passing us.
Yeah.
So they're coming from the south as we kind of get to the bridge and turn to.
Yeah, it's literally halfway to Sunset Hill.
Good to know.
Yeah, I think I'll purchase 1 pound of smoked fish. and look to Cassius and say, "Do you want some of this?"
Yeah, sure, please.
Here you go. And just I give the whole thing to him.
The 1 pound of fish.
Yep.
By the way, that's half
Still in
your
the package.
day's need of food. By the way, because like a humanoid needs to eat 2 pounds of food per day, right?
All right. So I'll note down 1 pound of fish, smoked fish. Don't you want any of this then?
Well, of course I do. I'm just not going to carry it.
Oh, I see. All right.
What about you? Do you want any? And I'm just look to the others.
There's a river right there. There's plenty of fish, I imagine.
Very well. This will keep for a long time, just in case we need some time later.
Rations are always good to have.
Yes. Interested to see how it tastes as well. In the meantime.
Probably like.
Haven't you had fish?
Well, of course.
Most of them taste the same. Just so you know.
If you say so. I'll take your word for it.
Well, you probably, for you, all the fish probably taste the same, right? He looks at Tymora. Probably had a lot of it. Here on down on the sea.
I mean, no spices or anything. Just... Yes, it's the way you prepare them that give them a taste. As there's the strange, exotic ones, and I doubt there are any here.
Oh, I'd like to hear about that. We all can talk at the same time. Would you mind?
All right. And I guess I start talking about weird tasting ones, like some pufferfish and octopus and shit like that.
Nice.
Yes, it looks bored as hell.
Oh wow!
Well, Loki is like rolling his eyes, constantly like.
And my voice is more like I'm reading an itinerary rather than telling a story. So yeah, this.
Stheno's eyes are wide. Yeah. Poor Cassius.
So about
people really know how to
4
party.
to 5 hours later, you finally get to a spot where you start seeing houses along the river. There's no mill or anything, but there's like smaller docks and a few fishing boats. But the bulk of the house is like a bit further away from the shore, because you can also see traces of like probably when it's like, especially like you can imagine at the end of winter when the snow starts melting or during heavy rainfalls, it probably floods the shore quite heavily, right? It's not like, you know, a tame river. It's quite big as well. So the houses are further away from it, but there is like smaller docks and fishing boats along the shore. But this is what it looks like when you walk up. Also, by this time, the sky is starting to cloud over.
I have to say, this is quite different from the city.
Yeah.
Is there an actual road, or is it more dirt trail?
Dirt trail.
Alright. Is there any obvious, like I know that you'd said that there wasn't, but like any places that one might be able to stay? Just...
There's no place where like you don't have any signs that says, oh, this is the inn, or this is the... There's no... It's houses. So basically... Is
there any sign of anybody in the fields, given that it's a farming community?
I mean, no, there's people there, right? There's people, like, you know, walking around, and I mean, not that many, but there's like, you know, an old woman sitting in front of
as soon
one
as
of
we
the
get
houses.
within earshot of anyone, I'm just gonna kind of put my hand up and wave and go, "Ahoy! Sorry to bother you. I've just got some quick questions."
Yes.
Does this person look like they can see past their hand?
No, she's squinting. It's an old woman, and she's squinting at you.
Have a nice day.
What?
Just keep walking on, and then find the next capable individual.
Wow. Just
rude.
Wow, rude.
Well, she's not going to be able to answer the question.
Around the corner, if you can see, like in the picture, you have the thatch roof, right? Around the corner, there's that place that kind of looks a bit different. It looks like almost like it's been built on top, like to the house it's behind, like an addition. It's not out of stone; it's like wooden and stuff. And there's like a beer barrel outside, and the door is kind of like open, right? Because it's actually still a warm day, right? But you can hear people from the inside, and if you step closer, there's like 3 people in there at the moment talking to each other. It looks like a very basic. I mean, calling it a tavern would be a stretch.
Yeah.
But
if I
you
stick
smell,
my head inside,
you smell food.
It
smell
looks
stew.
like a tavern.
It looks like a tavern, yeah.
Found it.
So then let me drop you and show you like what it looks like on the inside, because we're taking no time with the village. It's like, GM is like sadness. Anyway, you're in the tavern. There's 3 people present, and all 3 stop talking and turn around and look at you, and especially you, Viera. They like raise their eyebrows, and like, hello.
Hi. Is this a tavern? Somewhere we can get a drink?
Drinking hole, yeah, in.
Excellent. I've got a couple of questions as well, if you don't mind, and I'll usher everyone else into the inn, or tavern, I should say.
Yeah.
I follow.
And just pick a table, any table will do, and sit down and say, we're looking for an individual who we believe's been passing through the towns. He's a lizardman?
Oh, Snaga! Oh, yeah.
Snaga, that's the name, yeah.
He's from here!
Have you... Oh, is he? Have you seen him?
Oh, he's out. He's doing the rounds. He's doing his little hopeless hunt looking for adventurers to give them not very much money to helping go into the hulk. The guy talking to you is about 41 years old, by the way, like big burly fella, right?
Into the Hulak forest, I take it.
Oh yes. He went to Arabel because he likes hearing adventures, so he like travels like once every month or so, goes to the big city, and he has a bit of a gambling problem, and so he goes and gambles. But the Tymora shown her luck on him this time, and he won a map apparently, and now he's looking for the tower. It's like, we don't mind that business around here, but he likes the stories and the adventure and that kind of stuff. But he's nice. He's, as nice as lizard folk could get.
So he's from this town, you said?
Oh, yes.
Yes.
His kind was
did
around
he grow
here.
Up here?
Oh, yes, we found him when he was a wee gecko. We thought he was a big lizard, but then it started talking, and then we kept it. And we raised him.
I bet that was a bit of a surprise for you.
Well, see things.
Who's he live with?
We're not that far away from the Hulak. Stuff comes out sometimes.
Mm-hmm. What's the worst thing you've ever seen come out of the Hulak forest?
Well, dark and big beast, of course. Giant flying bat.
Sounds awful.
Say I've ever heard of them.
I mean,
I think it
they're
goes
around
for
here.
the cattle or the sheep.
Oh, you don't leave the sheep outside, not at night. Very bad idea.
Oh.
The Darken Beast comes out
So that they all
and
go-
bites it and turns it into another Darken Beast, and then they attack you.
Oh, sounds very serious.
And
All right.
do you happen
Never
to hear
mind
any
that.
stories about where they're from originally?
Alright,
Darken Beast, what do I know? We're just farmers here. We just stay safe,
All right.
locked up. We don't go out at night. We don't go to the hill. We don't go to the Hulak. We do our job. We live our life. That's it.
Do you serve food as well as drink?
Of course, of course, of course. We have stew and we have sweet rolls and my lovely wife, and he like gestures to the side, you know, to the woman who's sitting there, who's like just as burly and big as the other two people present here, right? So that's my lovely wife Merla, and she makes the best
Merla.
sweet rolls in the entirety of Sunset Hill.
Oh, in that case, can we get 4 stews and 4 sweet rolls?
You want some ale with that?
Yes.
Do you have anything a little more refined than ale, by chance?
No, thank you.
No, we're not as fancy as the folk over in Arabel.
Oh, okay.
But we have fresh baked bread. You can have a loaf with the stew.
Oh, no. That's... Well, yeah. If that comes with the stew, that would be great. But 2 empty flagons, 2 flagons with ale, if that's possible.
Sure. But tell, why are you looking for Snaga? You're here to help him? You're adventurous? He kind of looks at you dubiously.
I dubiously look at the other 3.
Especially Samira. We're like, you know...
Dressed in her finery.
Yeah.
I would casually look at the other 3 and also glance back toward the man with a bit of a dubious look on his face and go, something like that. I think, yes, we're looking for Snaga to help him out. Or at least disprove the tower's existence, if that makes sense.
Oh, that will not make him very happy.
No, but...
And he's a happy fella. It's very
Maybe
hard
we'll
to make
find
him
a tower.
unhappy.
That's lovely. I sit down.
At the one table. That's not...
Yes.
Yeah.
And just grab enough chairs for all of us to sit down.
Yeah, so Merla already got up, right? So just so you know, a cup of water is 1 copper. They charge for it.
No, I didn't ask for a cup of water.
No, I'm just telling you the prices, right? Because they would have told you. A mug of ale is 3 copper. It's okay. It's not great.
It'll wash the food down with.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Stew is 2 copper. A loaf of bread, and you cannot get it a piece of bread. You buy a loaf, right? It's 4 copper. A sweet roll is 2 copper, and actually overnight stay, they're gonna also tell you because they know that there's nothing close by, right? Is 3 copper per person.
I'll take a loaf.
Add it all up. So 4
Somebody
stews
add it up. This is why I'm telling you the prices.
Oh, wow. Nobody was writing anything down.
Oh,
so.
I got it. Okay. So,
Here,
2
I'm
empties.
gonna put it into Discord, so you can then have it, and then
Wow.
you can do the math.
It's like,
Thank you.
There you
3 copper for
go.
an ale.
I will take out a gold coin and put it down and say, I'm sure that covers it for the next couple of days.
Eyebrow raise.
But while they're
Same here.
busying themselves to get you the food, the third person standing there will come over to you. And that's the guy that you can see with the white cap, right? And it's like, well, good day to you. I am Wilmer Forestbranch. I am a pastoral of Chantea. I am the priest in this place. Yes?
Hail. Pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure to meet
I'm
you.
Stheno.
He like takes your hand and shakes it. Right.
Firm grip. Shake it.
Yeah. He looks about
you take
50,
care of this town, then.
50 something, right?
50 something?
Yeah.
Awesome. All right.
All humans.
So you tend to this town then?
Well, I mean, town to the villagers. Yes. I make my rounds throughout the day. I talk to everyone. I provide spiritual advice and prayers.
From Chantea, yes?
Yes.
That's very kind. Would you happen to have any accommodations for people passing through that's not this area? And she just kind of looks around at the tavern.
I mean, this is a decent place. You can stay here.
Of course. But where's your house of worship?
Oh, we don't have a house of worship. The house of worship for Chantea are the fields and the wheat and the produce and nature. We worship her by tending to the land and being kind to it and not damaging it and rotating the crops, making sure we don't take too much.
Well, that's beautiful. And you wouldn't happen then to know a few things about the wheats or the lands near the forest, would you? Heading up that way?
Oh, we don't go that. We don't go close to the Hulak. That's a very bad idea. That is something for you capable people, adventurers, yes? The purple dragons pay handsomely for brave people to go in there and take care of all the dangerous things that mingle there that we don't really want to deal with.
And where might one find these purple dragons?
Well, not around here. Not in Sunset Hills. We're too small to have any purple dragons.
Oh, but this is a lovely place. I couldn't see why one wouldn't want to settle down here for at least a time.
Oh no, we like it here, but you see, we're not really a proper community. We're like, a couple of houses here, a couple of houses there. We don't even have a governor.
More just farmsteads.
Eyebrow raised. Oh, apologize. One sec. Okay. Oh, all right. And how then do you defend yourselves against these creatures that come in the night? They sound dastardly.
Oh, they don't come close to our houses. We just stay inside. We lock the doors, we shut down the windows, and we don't go out at night when it's dark. Especially not to the hill.
Even Snaga? He seems like an adventurous sort.
Oh, he is a smart one. He knows how to hold himself. He's not stupid.
Mm. So you know him
Speaking of
quite
Snaga, do you think he'll be back anytime soon?
Oh, let me think. He left. Like he calculates. Like, should be back in 2 days, 3 days, if nothing holds him back. He should be about now somewhere. Maybe Human Bridge? Probably Human Bridge, yes.
Okay, so along
Sometimes
the trail.
he cuts through Bospir, although he avoids it most of the time.
Because
unruly
of the sheep,
folk.
right?
Unruly folk.
Yeah.
Too wild. We're much nicer here. We're much better. We might not be as fancy, and our inn might not be as big, but we're nicer folk.
Obviously. In that case, if we're going to stay here for a couple of days, or a few days, why not get acquainted?
Why not?
Oh, I thought we already did that.
Oh, I meant with the town itself. What sorts of people are here? I'd like to take a tour if you're willing.
There's not much of a tour to do here. It's just private houses and farms.
Oh, but you've got stories, don't you?
No, we have stories. You can talk to me. You can talk to the folk here. You can go out to the farms throughout the days and talk to the people. No, we don't mind. We're not as grumpy as Bospir is.
Is it possible to borrow one of the fishing boats that we saw tied up to the docks?
I mean, you can ask one of the fisher folk.
Okay.
For example, or maybe one of the younger people. Ori Jandori and Cedric Jandori. Lovely couple.
The Yandoris.
The Yandoris, yes. They have a son, 5 years old, Uwe.
Sounds good. I take it they live down by the river then, do they?
Oh no, don't. They live, and he points in the direction. It's literally 2 houses over.
Oh, okay.
Totally nice.
And he tells you about their parents and grandparents. And uncle. And then the aunt.
Oh.
And they're like spread across the entirety of the Sunset Hill. It's they're not all clustered here, right? But yeah.
I take it that Stew's coming at some point.
Well, not only that, but at some point you have a whole bunch of kids bursting in there and then running back into the kitchen and yelling at Merla to give them food. It's 4 boys and a girl, about the ages 5 to 15, right? The oldest one, the boy, who looks like 15, puberty. More it looks like he has additional joints, basically, very thin, gangly. Is kind of trying to tame them all, and they're all ignoring him, right? The quietest is actually the girl. She looks about 5 years old. But by the way they're shouting "Mama, Mama," they're all, Merla's and her husband's children, but because you don't know what the husband is called yet. Although the priest will happily tell you the names if you ask.
All the children's names, all their names. Oh, I see you. You folk have quite the time here.
Oh yes, I mean the Sherpas
activities.
are very lovely people. They built this nice little tavern. Let's call it a tavern. I mean, and so the man is Osbert, but we call him Derpa Sherpa, and his wife Merla, and his children Brum, Brim, Bram, and Brum, and the little girl Marablin, but we call her Bram.
Do they sweep a lot? Just curious.
They what they do they what a lot?
Do they sweep a lot?
I thought you said sleep. What?
Yeah.
That's kind of
he will blink at you and huh?
There's a slight smirk on Stheno's face.
It's an unusual name.
I mean, we keep it simple here.
That you do.
There are no mountains around here, are there?
Well, there's the hill, if we are called the Sunset Hill. He kind of points out for the window, then he stops because he realizes it's like he's remembering. It's Like it looks like he does it all the time. It's like one of those moments, like, oh shit, I forgot again, right? Because the window, if you now that he's like pointing into the direction, you realize that that's actually paper, parchment. It's not it's basically there comes sunlight through, right? But it's not glass. It's parchment. It's paper, right? With in between in a wooden frame and pattern.
Cozy.
Yeah.
Yeah, the whole time Samira's eyebrows have just been rising and rising.
Yeah.
So I take it the Sherpas aren't originally from around here, because aren't Sherpas the people who carry stuff up mountains?
Oh, but that's just their name. Then,
Well,
they're not carrying things up mountains. Maybe in the past at some point. But no, we've been farmers and fishermen, especially like here next to the river, for generations.
Oh, okay.
Of course, my father was a priest of Chantea, and my father's father was a priest of Chantea, and his father was a priest of Chantea.
Runs in the family.
You see, it runs in the family.
Do you do anything else in the village, or are you just here to tend to the spiritual needs?
I tend to the spiritual needs. I guide the prayers, the celebration, like the harvest, and so on. I bless the fields.
The harvest,
very
that's
important
cool.
job.
Are you celebrating a harvest soon?
Oh yes, it's in a few days. Indeed, big harvest festival.
What sort of festivities do you have?
Oh, we make a big bonfire, and we slaughter a lamb, and we turn it on the fire, and we have ale, and we come together, and we drink and sing and celebrate the harvest, and we have the apples and the fruit, and everything that Chantea granted us from the lands. And her bosom, her rich bosom.
Cassius smirks.
You really don't like lambs, do you?
Sorry, I didn't catch that.
Sorry, I'll try and speak up. You really don't like lambs, do you?
Lambs?
What? Lambs?
Lambs? Yeah.
Lambs. Come on.
What?
Yeah. What he said, or what she said.
You're killing the small sheep. Why are you killing the small sheep?
Oh no, like, what do you mean we don't like them? We love them. They're delicious.
Exactly.
Oh. Right.
He looks at you like you're the weirdest
deliver.
person he ever saw in his entire life. And you're living with a lizard, by the way.
I'm surprised you missed the trick, Cassius.
The trick?
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to give it away if you didn't spot it. I'll tell you once we've left.
Alright. Sorry, I'm just
The
enjoying not being on the road, and he's like draped over the seat.
By the way, he will go away, and then Osbert and Merla are back, and they will ask you all kinds of questions. The children as well, the children especially are clustering around Viera, and they're you an elf, right? You an elf? Are you from the Cormyr? Are you super old? Your ears are super pointy, and then Merla smacks them over the back of the head at some point and shoos them out. The little girl is just really looking at you with big eyes and really quiet,
I will pull out a wooden carving of a panther and give it to her.
Is that a kitty cat?
It's a very big kitty cat.
Bigger
than a sheep.
Big, and her eyes go super wide. Bigger than the sheep?
Much bigger than a sheep.
That sounds dangerous.
Much bigger. Is that your daddy over there?
Nod.
bigger than Daddy. But if you know how to treat them well, they will help you hunt.
Really?
Either that or they will hunt you.
Cassius, now
See,
his
like,
eyebrows
her
raised like,
bottom
okay, this
lip
is something you
starts,
tell a child,
like,
of course.
like her bottom lip starts like, trembling.
Oh no. Oh no.
But it's alright, because now you've got the little panther wooden statue to protect you. If you ever see a big cat, don't go near it. They're very dangerous.
And Merlin was like, yeah.
That's for you.
You listen to the nice elven lady. Don't go near big cats. Don't go to the forest. Not out. Go play with your brothers. She doesn't look too happy about having to play with her brothers, by the way, but she kind of listens to her mother. And like quietly slinks out very slowly, looking back at you guys. But like she's hugging the panther to her chest. And then once she's at the door,
Once she's gone,
she's like darts away.
Oh. What's her name?
A+ for effort, but
Yeah, you're great.
And Mirla,
there.
are you asking the in character what her name is?
Yep.
Yeah, Mirla was
definitely.
says like, oh, she's named Mariblin, but we call her Bram.
Bram.
Yes. The oldest is Bram. The second oldest is Bram. The third oldest is Bram. The fourth oldest is Brim, and then it's Bram. Mariblin.
Ah, beautiful. What a lovely name.
Well, Osbert's father was Bram, so he's very fond of
There's
the
some
name.
coughing as Samira was eating. Swallowing a lot.
That's just absolutely brilliant.
Very kind man. He loved him very much. So when we got our oldest, he named him Bram, and then it just went that way. I didn't want to, I had my way with Mariblin, and I called her Mariblin, and I'm very proud of Mariblin, but he keeps calling her Bram, so everyone calls her Bram. I'm Merla, by the way. Nice to meet you. And she shakes her hand. They're all very touchy-feely, by the way, here.
Yeah, shaking her hand too, clapping it. It's such a pleasure to be here. Thank you for your service.
Let me, yeah, it's good. Pet. I just have to go and bring Jeanette her stew. Old woman needs her stew. I'll be right back. And she's grabs a bowl and basically just crosses the street. You can see her from the door and goes to the woman who sits in front of the house, and she gives her the bowl.
Wasn't that the woman who said hello to you?
Looks like the same one, yeah.
Yeah.
There's no other woman sitting in front of the house that's this old, right? So yeah, it's not many houses. What you saw in the picture, that's the houses.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are 4 houses.
There's there's 2 or 3 a bit further in the distance, but that's it, right? The other houses are strewn all around, Like I said, it's not one clustered village. It's a whole bunch of houses all around.
I have to say, I really like the warmth of these people. You're all very close.
And of course we're close.
They're certainly
we see each other every day. We farm the lands. We cook together. We harvest together. We cry together. We laugh together. We do everything together. We stick together.
Sounds lovely.
That's beautiful. That's so beautiful. And I'd like to do some of this laughing together. What do you do for fun? After we eat, of course.
We drink. We talk. We tell jokes and stories, and that's it. Then we go to sleep.
That's grand. That's grand. I love talking. I love
we're not as
stories and
fancy
jokes.
as you city folk. We don't have, the city folk amusement, whatever that may be. She has no fucking clue what that actually might be, right? She has some like vague concept about like what city folk might be doing.
They get up to.
Yeah.
It's also mostly drinking and talking. Very similar.
For some people.
But yeah, basically, she explains to you that farmers basically go to sleep very soon after sunset and they get up at dawn. So,
Otherwise, you're wasting candles.
Yes.
Right. So, for brevity's sake, I'll just ask where Snaga stays to get that information so I can take a look out for that. And then at some point,
Snaga actually lives with the priest. When
cool.
He's in the town.
Oh, that's beautiful. All right. So, yeah, that's pretty much all I needed aside from stocking up on a sweet roll. I wanted to try a sweet roll. So I'll deduct that cost. And I'll put that in my inventory.
You can do. The gold that I paid covers rooms and food once a day, including a sweet roll for dessert once a day.
Oh, okay.
So that covers all of the rooms and one dinner meal. So you just need to worry about breakfast, basically.
Okay.
For the sake of brevity, if we are going to time skip a couple of days here to the Harvest Festival or to whenever Snaga arrives, I'm basically going to spend my early mornings hunting fish and other small games.
I'll join you with that. I'll join you with fishing.
If we can borrow a boat, then any excess fish I catch will go to whoever lends us the boat.
Well, first of all, if we're skipping, and because we're also getting close to the end of the session, so I will just like briefly tell you that the river is basically you have the vibrant water that the river leads to, right? They will tell you about the Hulak Forest, which is a great hiding place for brigands and predatory monsters, that they will also tell you about that they know that because you new folk and they think you're city folk, so they're trying to impress you, so they will tell you like all the pompous stories, especially stuff like oh yeah, there's dragons inhabiting the Thunder Peaks and sometimes they get hunting in the Hulak Forest. They kind of trying to like increase the impression of how dangerous it is to live out there, but clearly they're not like behind pokey walls with 50 guards around them. Like, I mean, they have walls, but like not like nothing too serious, right?
Well, any stories involving creatures, I will press for as much detail as possible. So, what color dragons? What kind of creatures are the Darken Beasts? That kind of thing.
The dragons are green, from what they can tell you.
Well, this was more you might want to write down. During the week.
I will give you like more stuff throughout the week on the Hulak Forest, but like basically, they will make you aware. You get the impression like they know their thing, so like they're not giving you like completely made up shit, right? But you don't get the impression that any of them has ever seen any of those creatures up close and personal.
Yeah, they might well know that they're there, but they've never seen one. So.
Yes.
Right.
Because they don't venture. It's like the Hulak is close, but not that close, right? It's like from.
How close is it? Yes.
In a straight line, if you cross the river, the closest bit is like 15 miles away. If you go around, like along the path, right? Then it would be a good day's journey. It's like about 27 miles along the road. If you go like to the north again on the east way and then into the Hulak.
Cool.
Quick question, how many days are we time skipping basically?
2 days. Sort of. As
so
far as you can tell.
To
right.
the 18th?
During the festival,
yes.
The 18th.
Yeah.
Okay,
right, so I likely have a bunch of questions, but I'll ask you throughout the week.
Yeah, like I said, you stick long enough around to learn more about the Sunset Hills, about the Immer Trail, about the river, the Vibrant Water, and the Hulak itself, right? Enough to know what you're getting into, right? And I will write up enough so you guys are informed, right? Because again, they know their stuff, right? It's just that they don't personally go there. And they will also let you know that
they live in the vicinity of it.
Yeah. The specific purple dragons that are most likely to pay adventurers to go up into the Hulak are actually Thunderstone purple dragons.
Thunderstone?
Yeah, it's to the east.
Sweet. Right. I was thinking red ravens for some reason, but yeah, that makes more sense. I had a blast. Oh, this is gonna be so fun walking around in this village talking to people.
Otherwise, that's that's it. Because we're 6 minutes to the end.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna call it here at this point. I'm gonna pause it because it's a nice spot to stop. We haven't quite made it to you meeting Snaga, but you did additional stuff, so there's that. I prepped way more.
I'm so disappointed I didn't get that sheep.
I'm not disappointed you didn't get the sheep.
But if you could humor me and head over to the office for like 5 minutes.
Office? Okay.
Yeah, of course.
Sure.
And I'll be right back with you guys there. Right?
Bye, all.
Bye.
Hello, streamers or viewers. Thank you for watching. I hope you had fun. This was the first big test of like all the technical stuff, which I'm still figuring out. I will tweak more things for next time, so it's a bit more like smooth. Sorry for being silent and not talking to you, but like I'm mostly trying to focus on actually GMing, right? I'm unfortunately not as good in like keeping track of chat and the game itself. I will be back on Tuesday or Wednesday, depends, because my mom is coming to visit, so she's kind of throwing off my usual streamer stuff. But I will announce it, and along with that, I will kick off my Patreon probably this week with the maps that that I'm making for the game. Today you saw one of them, and I will start putting them up, and they will be in the smaller version. They will be available for free for this month, as in like, hey, I have a Patreon. So yeah. But otherwise, I hope you had fun. These are the characters. We see next time if they're gonna survive and if they're gonna find Snaga, and then we're gonna finally see Snaga, because I'm looking forward to revealing Snaga to the stream. So yeah, guys, thank you for watching. So yeah, love you all, and bye!